a song, let me give you a song, let me sing you a song, let me sing you a song. From dusk and dawn to the early morn, till the battle is gone, till the battle is gone. Hitting on the road, I wanna bring you back.
Hello, and welcome to Dusty Tracks BC. We are here in the Terrace Art Gallery with the Skeena Salmon Art Show, folks. 3 different people who are deeply involved in the festival in all very different capacities. So I'm gonna have them all introduce yourself. Will you start?
I'm Dave Gordon. I'm the founder and president of Salmon Arts Society, the organization that oversees the Skeena Salmon Art Show, and this is our 6th year of existence.
Amazing. Thanks.
I'm Steph Patsula, and I am this year's 2023 coordinator for the Skeena Salmon Art Show. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And my name's Zach Canuel. I'm a first-time artist for the Skeena Art Show, or Salmon Art Show. I am a self-taught glassblower, so I've made a bottle with some little salmon eggs inside to share with everyone.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you want to actually start there? Tell us all about this piece?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the bottom here I've got a whole bunch of little orange marbles that I made each by hand, and I've put them in a bottle because the way the Skeena is a container for the salmon, I wanted to make a container for the salmon myself, and I've spent my whole life traveling along the Skeena, visiting family, because I was born and raised here, so happy to be a part of the festival this year.
Great. Thrilled to have you.
Great, yeah. It's been a couple of years, eh?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the festival. How did it start 6 years ago? What happened?
Well, my background is fisheries biologist, and I retired about 8 years ago, and I thought, well, what can I do now that I'm not working as a biologist? And quite concerned about the state of salmon. Populations are in decline. They're a really important part of the Northwest fabric of our culture. Mm-hmm. And, rather than protesting against projects to conserve salmon, I thought, let's do something really positive and let's bring people together in a positive way. And what better way to do that than art around the topic that's so close to so many people's hearts in the Northwest. Mm-hmm. It took a little bit of convincing to the Terrace Art Gallery and their board and others that we could actually do an art show, community art show around salmon. And in our first show, I think we had people lined up 100 outside the gallery to get in, which has never happened in a small town in Terrace. So it's been a real success, and I think that just shows where people's hearts are with salmon. People in the Northwest just love salmon, and it's really core to the culture of us in the Northwest.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And how has it been like seeing the festival grow over the years?
It's kind of amazing, actually. I sort of thought this year, when we had slow uptake initially after our call, I thought maybe the community's finished with the art show and it's moved on to something else. And then before we knew it, we had over 100 artists signed up, and then to see artists come in with pieces like we have in front of us that people have worked on all year, it tells me just how important this show is to the community and to the whole Northwest. We have artists from Rupert and Terrace and Kitimat and Smithers and the Nass Valley, all bringing their passion for salmon to the show.
What an amazing gathering of talented, passionate people. That's really amazing to hear.
It's quite something.
So do people often spend the year leading up to the festival with this festival in mind?
They seem to, a few of them, yeah. Some of them just pull out the last piece they have and bring it down in a hurry, but I think most of them really think about the piece that they want to put in and work really diligently all year. And you don't pull off pieces like this spectacular sculpture in front of us just on a weekend. This has taken a long time to put together, and we have a number of pieces that people have put their heart and soul into.
This is a remarkable piece. And let's talk about that a bit from the artist's perspective. How is it? Did you make this piece with the festival in mind, or is it something that's salmon's always core to you and it lined up?
Well, for a couple of years I've wanted to make a submission, but I, for various reasons, wasn't able to get it done. But I had a bit of a tough time picking what I was going to do, and months and months back, I started making these little salmon eggs, and it was a job of kind of practicing to make the smallest marbles I could and do them consistently. So the marbles started months and months ago. I added a little mushroom. I'm inspired by nature. I'm a mushroom picker, so I follow the creeks and streams and I look for those. I've grown up following the skeena to go see family, so I've always watched the salmon runs. I've always associated it with watching my grandpa can fish. I'm Nishka, so my grandpa's Haida, but in the house that my grandparents had in Prince Rupert, I would always hang out with my grandpa in the back room, however he was preparing whatever seafood it was. And so I am very connected to the river and the fish in it. And yeah, it's building my art piece was, I was very much inspired by the nature around us and my connection to the salmon. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. It's lovely to hear how much it is very much something that was personal to you, and then very much wanting to be part of this festival. Like, just like you were saying, salmon really seemed to bring people together. There's a strong connection there.
As does the river. You know, the river connects all our communities, and we have people that live in one community and go by boat up or down river to other communities, fishing along the way. Lots of people have family connections between communities along the river as well, and salmon season is often the time when those families get together and meet to process their fish or just to go fishing.
That's really cool. And what was it like taking in these, because over 100 artist submissions, how was it taking them all in, sorting it, trying to find the pieces?
Well, I mean, yesterday was the last of 3 days for the submission entries to come and arrive to the gallery before we install the show, which opens up next week. And I mean, this sounds kind of like corny, but my cheeks are really sore because it's really just such a joyful position to be in, to have folks bringing in their artworks and, you know, sharing the story, the experience, all of the things that kind of can go into the work of preparing to be a part of this really great community show. And yeah, as an artist as well, like it's just a really fun exchange to be around people who are so passionate, and then also surrounding a theme which is so important. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of artists and it's a lot of work, but it's a labor of love, and I just feel really fortunate to be a part of the exchange. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Sounds like it just seems like such a good place to be. Just art showing up constantly, like.
It's
Yeah.
like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Packaging the artwork.
What a good day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any pieces that the stories stand out to you from the last 3 days that pop to mind you want to share?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I feel that something that's really unique to having a call, which is bringing a lot of northern and northwestern artists together, is that the theme unifies, but the storytelling is just constant. And I mean, I wouldn't say that there's any one that like sticks out more than another, but I definitely have a sense, as a person who's very new to this community in the last year, this sense of like learning through people's stories and, oh, okay, this is where like what you were thinking about when you created this, or like I don't know, there's just so much. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's like overwhelming, but it's definitely this beautiful gift of people's stories and knowledge that they're giving me. So I think the favorite thing is just being having like the privilege of learning so much about the area through people's stories about the salmon. Yeah.
That's amazing to hear. And you said you also have a piece in the festival.
Yes, yeah. Myself and my creative partner, we have a collaborative sound project that we work, or I guess like a collective that we work towards together. And we do a lot of field recording. So basically what that means is you're going out with different microphones into the natural environment, and you're placing them in places where you can collect sonic textures. And so when we first moved here, it was something we were interested in doing, was like recording the river and also the watershed area around. And so when the call came out, I was thinking, oh, okay, I've got like a year's worth of recordings from above and below the water. And so our piece is a sound piece which blends a variety of those recordings together. Yeah.
Oh, that must be such a neat feeling to be listening to that piece. And is it sort of, if someone's listening to it, do they feel like they're by the river, in the river?
I think like all sorts of different, I feel like it changes locations a lot. And you know, you get a sense of space depending on how it was recorded. So, you know, maybe you're going to be hearing one thing in one side of the headphones and another. So sometimes we'll take a recording where the microphone is both under the water and above it. So you'll have this kind of sense of space, perhaps when you're listening, or, you know, you'll hear like the breeze, or you'll hear the rain on the water in some instances, or the ice cracking. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. No, that sounds like such a neat piece for people to experience, and it's still mind-blowing to me that that's one of over 100 pieces
Yes.
that people will be seeing.
Yeah.
It's wild.
The range of medium is just like really incredible.
I find it takes 3 or 4 times back to the gallery to get around and see all the pieces and absorb them and feel the impact of each. It's not a show you can just sort of walk around in 20 minutes and say, I've seen it. It's much deeper than that.
Yeah, and all the pieces must have such deep significance for all the artists.
They do, yeah.
That's amazing.
And for a lot of people, it's their first time showing. So we're a small community. We don't have a lot of places people can show their art, and a couple years ago we had 7-year-old's art hanging beside Order of Canada recipient Dempsey Bob. And that doesn't happen in many galleries.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It must be so cool for anyone to be showing their art. What's it like for you, Zach, showing your art alongside all these other artists?
Well, I've been blowing glass for 6 years now, and outside of like craft fairs and things like that, I've never had my art shown next to other artists' works. So it feels pretty cool. It's fun. I've been kind of beside myself about certain aspects of it for sure. It's like I really like enjoy being a part of a community effort like this. Like I'm involved in a separate festival myself where I put on a lot of the managerial kind of duties, and to kind of take part as an artist in a different one in my own community. I'm a big part of a community in that way, and I just really enjoy being a part of that. It's community is important, and to see all the different artwork from so many different people in it, it's special.
It's a great community building exercise, and I was told after the first year that we did the show that it was the first time at the Terrace Art Gallery that Indigenous artists had shown their work alongside of separate artists, which kind of blew me away. And now that's just the norm, and we see a lot of Indigenous artists having solo shows and group shows now. So it was a bit of a beachhead for some artists in the community.
Wow.
And it's also great when, like, we have an opening just for the artists. So we'll have 100 artists here with their families. And being an artist means usually that you're working in your basement or your studio without much connection to other people. So to be able to get all the artists together and share all their artwork around a common theme and then network with each other is a really special evening.
Yeah. Oh, that must be remarkable.
I really look forward to that.
Yeah, that kind of thing's important.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And that first showing that you're talking about, that was 1 year ago. The first.
So this is 2018, I think, or 2017. 2017.
So the first
The
year
very
of society.
first show,
First show.
year of the show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. That's amazing. It is a little mind-blowing. That's the first time Indigenous and settler art was shown side by side. Amazing that it's grown since then, because you wouldn't know it now. Like, there's...
No, we've
artists
just
from
sort of
all
broken
walks
down
life.
that barrier, and which is great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've also been able to tour the show and build connections with other communities. Hazelton, which is at the confluence of the Bulkley and the Skinner Rivers. Smithers, both really strong salmon communities. Those are communities we've shown in before. We showed in the Nass Valley last year. And of course, salmon is just core to the Nisga'a people and to the setting that we had it in Lac des Cygnes. And this year we're going to Kitimat.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Kitimat, and was there one other place as well?
And we're going back to Smithers. Smithers has their hand up every other year to host the show, and Smithers is a great arts community. We really enjoy taking our artwork there, and it's different. So when we have the openings in Smithers, it's a different flavor of people, and it's just great to see different communities coming together through art.
Yeah, it's really great. What are the other things the Society's been involved in? Because I know there's a lot of murals in town, and the Society had a big hand in that.
We started with one mural on a building that I own in downtown, because we had a couple of murals. Some of them were really good. Some of them had seen their time and the paint was fading, and so we hired a professional artist out of Smithers who collaborated with a few local artists and put up a mural that just kind of blew the community away. We didn't know that kind of art could be put up on a building, and after that, other building owners came and said, how do I put this on my building? And through some creative grant writing and fundraising in the community, we were able to put up, I think we have almost 20 murals in the community now, and we're going to reach higher and keep going, putting up 2 more murals this year. It's been great, and now we have a number of building owners saying, I want to be on the list, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And we also have artists that are really busy installing in public settings. We've got organizations like the Terrace Community Forest that is saying we want art in our forest parks, like Ferry Island now has several art installations in it. We have sculptures going in the downtown. It's been just great to see Terrace become seen as an arts community. It was always there in the background, but now having it out front and center, it's sort of put us on the map and given tourists a reason to come into town, and created a great sense of pride with the artists in the community.
It is so neat to see when you first come into Terrace, and there's just so many pieces everywhere. Like, you walk on Ferry Island, you see the faces by Rick Goyette. You go to like half the businesses in town with beautiful carvings out front. Like, it's really remarkable. What has it been like living in Terrace? Because you grew up in this area, right? What has it been like seeing that change of art?
It's interesting. Like, I was born in Prince Rupert. Before I was old enough to know anything, I moved to Kitimat because my dad worked there, and then when I left high school, I moved to Terrace. I've been here about 15 years now, and so I'm really native to this area, and it's the community. Like, I've noticed a certain change. Like, I frequent the farmers market myself, and that's like a really good, like, weekly kind of getting your pulse on what, like, a good portion of the community is up to. And I've seen the artisan and artist community grow there quite a bit in the last couple of years. So I think it's definitely it's a growing, or well, whether it's growing or not, the attention on it's growing. There's a lot more people doing art and sharing it these days than there was just a couple of years ago. Things like this, the Salmon Arts Show, are definitely a big part of making that happen, I think. It's important. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the keys to success was we decided we were going to pay our professional artists like the professionals they are. I have had people come to me in the community and say, you're paying people to paint art on your building? They should just do that because they love art and the exposure they'll get. But no, we try to set a standard.
Deep breaths from all the
Deep
artists
breaths,
around the
I know.
room.
That's very common. And often murals are painted with honorariums of a small amount of money to come and paint for a week. And artists are used to living with almost no money, but we decided we would do something a little different here. So we used CARFAC, which is a national organization that sets pay scales for various artists as a benchmark, and we said we want to pay people like the professionals they are. We don't ask a plumber to come and fix our toilet for the exposure they'll get and the reputation that will grow. So we don't ask painters to do the same. So we pay them really well, and it's an absolute delight, I have to say, when the artists finish a mural and we hand them a check that has paid them really well for a week, and the first thing they say is, when can I do this again? So getting that buy-in from the artist means that they're looking at walls and they're thinking, what can I do? Which really drives the strength of the mural program, having the professional artists really put their heart and soul into it.
I think, like, to add to what you're saying as well, like when you see that there are organizations that are wanting to pay artists fair wages for their work and their time and their thoughts and creativity, you know, as that goes on for however many years, it can inspire the younger people in that community to know that this is a viable kind of space for them to work from as well. And I think it's so important when, you know, within the arts, when you're building up that community, to really invest, and not only in a kind of financial way, which obviously has all of this great benefit for the artist, but to show that it's meaningful and that it really builds a space and gives such value and allows for folks to really just feel proud of the space they're from, because this is my contribution to it. And yeah, there's a real kind of a trickle down, I think, that happens from that, and it's really beautiful to see. I think, you know, generations of artists kind of pulling through together and saying, oh, hey, you can do this too. So yeah, it's pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, I think that's amazing too. And like anyone who's making a career of being an artist they're working hard, so hard and so constantly. And there is really that like bias of art isn't a career. There's a complete lack of understanding sometimes and bias that, yeah, plumbers should be paid for their time, but artists should do it for fun. And I really admire that you're taking that time to figure out the pay scale, pay at it, and like just support careers that matter, support careers that we need. No community is a community without art.
We need professional artists in the community, and we have some of the best artists in the Northwest living here. The Free to Using School that's associated with Coast Mountain College has been going for probably 20 years now, maybe a little bit less, and the talent that started the school, Dempsey Bob, Stan Devon, Ken McNeil, and others, and the next generation that's taken over the teaching, graduates of the school, they're kind of the backbone for a lot of the art in the community, and a lot of our mural work were done by Free to Using graduates. So to have people with that training in First Nations Northwest Coast style art is really important, that it's not misrepresented and done to a really high standard. And, you know, as a reconciliation effort, I think it's really important. There wasn't much representation of regional First Nations art in the community just 6-7 years ago. A couple of totem poles at the arena, and I struggle to think of where else there was much presentation in the community. But having form line art go up in buildings, there's no denying that it's there. And about 40% of our regional population is First Nations. We're really a First Nations region, and their art and culture really needs to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Especially considering that we're on Highway 16, the Highway of Tears, and missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls is a significant issue in the Northwest. So, you know, to have a professional artist that's a woman painting, and then having her family say, my auntie did that, and you know, it creates a great sense of pride and honor in the community, and we really want to keep going with that.
Yeah, I mean, amazingly said. I couldn't agree more. We had the honor of sitting down with Stan Bevan and Dempsey Bob this week.
Great.
And yeah, oh my goodness, the wisdom that comes from those artists it's remarkable. And to have a whole school dedicated to learning and passing on traditions, phenomenal.
Yeah, and those two have traveled the world, helping start art schools in New Zealand, and they're still really busy practicing here, making groundbreaking work, and it's great to see that Stan has a couple of totem poles put up in the community the last couple of years, and we have plans for other sculptures by Stan and others, so
That's amazing.
come back in a few years and we'll have lots more work for you to photograph.
Well, I think we have to come back to Terrace quite a few times.
Yes, I think so.
And is that something, because as I understand, you're a city councillor as well, right?
Mhm.
Is that something you've been involved in terms of city council bringing art to the forefront of Terrace?
Absolutely, yeah. This municipal government moves glacially slow, but we're headed off in the right direction. The city's funded some Indigenous art in town. We're putting some Alex language on some of our signs. We're about to go through a downtown revitalization that's going to take up the whole street and sidewalk and redo it. And certainly First Nations regional art is going to be a big part of that rebuild of our downtown.
That's amazing. I'll definitely have to come back and see it. I'm
Great.
excited for that. And is it true you are also an artist yourself?
I'm a photographer. So in my career as a fisheries biologist, I was blessed with the opportunity to fly around in helicopters. So I have quite a few aerial photos of the region and various salmon streams, and also a few close-ups of very young salmon and very old and very dead salmon like this.
And have you entered any pieces in the festival this year?
Oh yes, I've got a piece in, an aerial picture of the CX Lavishole area that's really close to my heart. I lived up there for a couple of years, and CX River is one of the most dynamic and spectacular rivers in the country, and it's also full of salmon.
That's so cool. It's really neat. It's always neat getting to know a community, but it's been really neat getting to know Terrace and learning how many different things everybody does. It's really so much admiration for all the things you guys do simultaneously. And seem to do them well too. Every time I multitask, it's not good.
That's how things get done in a small town.
And boy, do things get done.
They do.
Steph, I'm curious a little bit about how you're going to go about taking all of these pieces and setting up the show. Like, how will you put up the show?
Well, I think thoughtfully. Like, I think that a kind of slow pace is important for me anyway. And so, on Monday, myself and the past coordinator, Cynthia, we're going to come into the space together, and we're going to unwrap the work. And we're going to sit with the work. And we then decide, okay, this is what's needed to hang the work. And it's a kind of a dance for me anyway, hanging an exhibition. And I find that having a clear theme that already exists is very helpful. But something that's like a joy with this kind of event is that you never know how people will respond year to year. And it kind of is like, never stops surprising me other small things that will pop out, like, oh, this year there's a lot of, for example, ravens in this exhibition, and so it's just a thoughtful, balanced approach towards hanging things, and working with an amazing team here at the Terrace Art Gallery to just create space in the upper and the lower gallery to home the artwork. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be such a good process.
Yeah, I think so.
We ask people to interpret the theme broadly.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want 100 pieces of fish or images of fish. It'd still be a good show, but exploring people's connection
Sure.
To fish and to the rivers, and makes it a really broad theme. We even have a still life of flowers in a vase, which I had to do a double take on and go, well, how does that fit into the theme? And the title is Skeena Flowers, I think, and I looked closely at the pictures. It's like, these are all the plants that live along the floodplain of the Skeena that hang over the river and provide cover for fish. So I was really appreciative of the artist there, Lynn Pucciani, to take the time and interpret the theme in a way that nobody else has to date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's lovely to hear how much the artists really take the theme, sit with it, and then create their way to contribute.
Yeah. Well, the connections between salmon and the region are really strong. I think of when I'm skiing on the ski hill that I'm skiing on next year's salmon water, which is just sitting up there waiting to melt in the springtime.
Totally.
And you said we weren't going to talk about shams.
I had to sneak that one in.
And Steph, when you're putting those pieces together and putting them up and putting the show up, some people might say that, like, put art on a more surface level. Be like, there's just the visuals that are going up. There's just paintings.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need much of that deeper thought. Why is it so important to sit with the pieces and understand them when you're putting the show together?
Well, it's a gratitude for the time that the artists have taken to put themselves into the work. And I think that holding space for each individual piece and thinking about that artist, thinking about what they were thinking about when they made this, or, you know, for me, that's just kind of a part of that reciprocity in hanging an exhibition. And so I think that slowness leaves space for thinking. And I think that also, yeah, of course, there's the aesthetic elements and the thematic elements of the exhibition, but, you know, as Dave was saying earlier, you come back and you revisit this space and see the show once, twice, three, however many times. You know, you may find that a different piece of work is going to strike you in a way based on what's happening in the world around you. You know, when you have such a site-specific exhibition, I think that your daily life all of a sudden can fall in stride with the work that you're surrounded by in the exhibition space. And I mean, there's a lot going on in the environment in the world right now, and artists have a different way of approaching talking about some of the harder and more challenging things that we can discuss in the world around us. And I think that, again, going back to that piece on taking time to reflect on those works, it's like, it's a gentle entry point. And what might seem as a very aesthetic or surface or, you know, whatever thing when you walk in, you may walk away feeling something that you never had expected, or, oh, actually I have a connection to something that I didn't know was so important. So,
Yeah, beautifully said.
I think it's also part of providing respect for the artist and the theme, and letting that settle in a little bit before you decide where the artwork should go and what it should be beside it.
Yeah, totally. Some things are having conversations and you didn't even know they were going to be talking to each other.
Indeed.
So.
It's so cool to hear again and again, like, how much deeper the art goes. That it is really, art is never just surface level, but it's neat to hear how much you see that in the art that comes through.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's also okay for things to feel like you're drawn to something on the surface as well. Like, there are pieces in the show as I'm like looking at the work and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot buy 10 pieces of artwork this year, you know? And that's another really great part of this show, is that artists can choose to sell their work if they want. And so, I mean, of course, you know, there are pieces that I want to live with that exist in this show. So, I mean, that's a part of it too. And if that can also act as a reminder or a kind of, I don't know, a space to hold a memory of your own, that's beautiful, you know. So I think it goes both ways. So, yeah.
The show's also served as a mechanism to educate artists on how to present in a gallery. Not too many people have, there's not a lot of artists that have enough volume of work to put on something to fill up this gallery. So as a result, lots of people don't have experience showing their artwork. This show's led us to having workshops with the Frida Giesing school, where the art gallery coordinator talks about framing and archival matting and you know, that standard that's expected in a gallery. And if a graduate wants to have that opportunity in a professional gallery in the Lower Mainland, they pretty much have to get there with a professionally framed and ready to hang piece. And that's new territory for some people.
Yeah.
Well, and, you know, there's so many ways at becoming an artist and, you know, becoming a maker, a creator, and so many folks are self-taught, or even, you know, those who have gone and done the art school route. That training isn't always embedded in that experience of, oh, this is how you write about your work, or this is a living, breathing thing, and your artist statement is going to change and grow as you change and grow, or those kinds of things. So I know for me as a coordinator, something that is really encouraged in this role by Dave is to say, you know, really give feedback and, you know, help people, and, you know, even talking with other artists about their artist statement is going to help me in rethinking the way that I might approach the way that I speak to my work too. So it's such an incredible exchange. So yeah, when it comes to professional development, I think that a big community show like this gives us opportunities to stand with our peers and say, oh, okay, I'm not in this alone. Everybody's kind of working through this together in their own way, from their own perspective, and yeah.
That's really cool. And Zach, I have one more question for you. I know you've got an art to sell tonight, but I'm curious what that process was like for you as an artist displaying your work for the first time in a gallery. What was that process, presenting yourself and your art?
It was definitely a little odd. I'm a glass blower. I made a little bottle, and one of the first things I read when it comes to presenting your work is framing and hanging it. And it was like, am I going to build a box to hang on the wall to put my little bottle inside? And I go through all this in my head briefly before I realize, oh, I can sit this on a plinth, and it's really not so difficult. But it was like it was definitely a moment of anxiety, I guess. Not that I'm particularly taken up by that. Like I'm going to different events to sell all the time, be it craft fairs, farmers markets, in 3 or 4 different communities, all mostly along the Skeena. Like I deal with those anxieties quite a bit, but it was still one of those moments where I'm like, it's a learning experience, and you mentioned self-taught artists. It's all kind of a learning experience, and you do kind of have to just jump in with both feet and figure it out sometimes. And I've been incredibly successful with figuring it out as I go, and just even though I didn't know how it would look when I applied, I knew I'd bring something in this year, and it's a satisfying process getting there.
And is there anything you kind of have in mind for people looking at your work? Like, is there anything you hope they take away from it?
I'm not sure.
Fair.
I had kind of thought to come up with something to say about that, and I'm connected to the river, and I wasn't sure how else to put it.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, I can see when you want to share a piece, your connection to it, and I think just in that there'll be a lot for people to see and connect to. Like,
I'm excited to hear what people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people connect in their own ways. As soon as I saw this, I started talking to Zach about my experience working in hatcheries where I handled a few million of those little orange eggs.
Yeah.
And other people will have a completely different perspective as well. And so people connect with the art in a myriad of ways, and that's also one of the fun things to watch, especially in the opening when the gallery's full, and seeing how people interact with the art.
Yeah. We used to hatch those eggs at school when I was in elementary school too.
Cool.
Yeah.
In Kitimat at Cormorant. I was in the French immersion school years and years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I guess I should get on the road though.
Yeah.
We are sad to see you go, but
Yeah. Well, it's been
good luck
fun.
tonight.
Thank you for
Happy
coming.
to see everybody today and
Thanks,
be a
Zach.
part of the festival.
Yeah, thank you
Take
so
care,
much
everyone.
for joining us. Yeah.
Safe travels.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
I'm way too visual. I just need to move this.
Okay. I can't do this.
Where's the mannequin?
Yeah.
Or a ghost. We've met a lot of ghosts on this show.
Oh.
We could bring a ghost in. We are in a basement.
It's true.
This is the least creepy basement.
It's true.
I can say, for me anyway.
Yeah.
You do not expect it. You walk down 2 flights of stairs and you're like, what am I coming into? And then you like walk out and it's just such a beautiful open space. I was not expecting this.
No.
Yeah, the main gallery downstairs, the light, the skylights, it's like, you almost forget you're in a basement.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. Terrace basements are not like other basements. We've seen some other ones that are surprisingly full of windows. Like, I don't think...
We need the light here. It's so dark in the wintertime. Sun going down at 5 o'clock and not up till 9. Got to gather all the light you can.
That makes sense. Speaking of here, I still have a few questions for you too.
Yeah,
if
you
you're
bet.
good for time. I want to talk about like sense of place in terms of art. Is that something that, like, especially seeing the contrast, I know you've traveled and Steph, you moved here from elsewhere. Do you find that there's a strong sense of place, or is kind of a unifying theme to terrace art?
The sense of place is actually our theme for murals, and it works really well with this. This is not necessarily so just about salmon. It's about our sense of place in the Northwest, and salmon is absolutely integral to that. And certainly the art here gives us a sense of place in the Northwest. There's not too many pieces here that if you've been here for a little while that you can't look at and say, I've seen a tree that looks like that, or I've seen a raven in a sunset like that. All of this artwork resonates really strongly with this varied experience in the Northwest.
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, sense of place. I think that it's like a symbiotic relationship, art and place and art, because after a while, when you have a city like Terrace that has so much public sculpture and murals and exhibitions like this and things like that, it almost, like, the way that the artists that are from here, or, you know, are working from here at the moment or whatever, represent the space, it kind of becomes, those become the icons of that spot. And so, you know, I think about how those two things play together, and it's really beautiful how by really focusing in on certain themes or trees or, you know, whatever, you're able to take those really positive elements and have those be the highlight of your city. And so, I mean, as somebody who is so new to this area, I'm constantly thinking about that, but I also like being reminded that I'm new to this space. And I think that that's a part of, you know, an arts and cultural intersection into urban planning and things like that. So it's pretty special and interconnected. Yeah.
Well, the art in our community speaks to our sense of place.
Absolutely.
It's come to the point of critical mass that it's developing its own sense of place. Terrace is the town with the great murals and the great sculptures. And,
Totally.
you need to go to Terrace to see all that.
Yes.
You do. Except it's a secret. No one's supposed to move here, is what
Yeah.
people keep telling us. It's a secret. I'm telling you.
Well, you will become hooked on Terrace if you spend enough time in Terrace, I feel.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well said, though. It's really neat to hear both of your thoughts on just like how they reflect back and forth, because it's one of my favorite things about art is it's constantly reflecting society.
Sure, yeah.
And then the way that art then subtly turns and impacts society is quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really neat interplay. On a more personal level, what have you loved about being a founder and a part of this art society for so long?
I guess the highlight is coming up next week when we have our artists opening, and you see all the artists together with this great sense of pride and willingness to talk about their pieces with other artists. That's a pretty special moment. And then on Friday night when the broader community comes, and again, we see people that come to the show. Some people come, they're here, you know, in line before it opens, so they can come and put red stickers on the pieces they like the most. Bit of a stampede sometimes. But seeing the group of people that now, this will be the 6th year they've got together and enjoyed the art as a community. And to come back and bring their friends and their family. Last year we had a family come from Denmark and said, we came to Terrace because we heard about the art show.
That's amazing.
I know. It's kind of great to see that. That was a bit of a check. We hit something right on that one.
Yeah, I think you've hit quite a few things right on these ones, but yeah, that must have been so gratifying.
It is, absolutely.
It's cool. And Steph, what do you find you're loving about this job so far and about this community?
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's a really long list. I love this position, and I feel like incredibly fortunate to have found myself in this place. I think to answer it right now, I'll say that to serve and to be a host and to help in that kind of exchange, that gives me a lot of sense of purpose, and I love that. I also love that it's an opportunity for a lot of different artists to network together. I really love that. And I also love the fact that, you know, I kind of spoke to the environmental elements of this exhibition a little bit earlier, but I think that it gives this really gentle opening for a lot of really rich dialogue about what's happening here. And, you know, yeah, of course there's a lot of positive things to say, but there's a lot of things that a lot of spaces in which people can activate change. And I think I love the fact that this is this little rupture in the everyday life of people where we can kind of get together under this canopy of creativeness and kind of maybe have a moment to talk about some other things that are going on. And so the fact that I get to be a part of that, even in like the tiniest way, that makes me feel really happy. It's a great job. Yeah, so I love it all. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is
Well
pretty
said.
awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's easy to say it well when you like what you do, I
Yeah.
think, you know.
Definitely.
Well, art connects to your soul in many
Totally.
ways, and connecting salmon to people's souls is you know, having that expressed in the art show is really positive, and I think will foster greater understanding and greater respect for the environment, more so than protests or bad news stories that scare us. This is a positive way, and I think that's an avenue that's worth pursuing, because I think that the win is there.
Definitely. And is there, like, going forward, is there anywhere that you hope to take this festival next? Or is it a hope that it keeps going? What are your future plans for it?
It's all volunteer driven, so I hope we can find the volunteers to keep driving it. That's probably our biggest challenge, finding funding for doing murals and doing a good job of them with big murals and paying people appropriately. That isn't money that's going to come from a bottle drive. So finding grants and the people to write the grants and administer the grants and write the grant reports, which we've been doing. But that stuff just you have to keep the wheels going on that all the time. I hope we can continue to grow it. We're actually talking to the community about a strategic art plan that will support future granting so that we can take this back up to the level it was just before the pandemic, where we're doing sort of 5 to 8 murals a year when we have workshops and this show. The potential is really high, and we need to build a little more volunteer base to make that happen, and have professional people like Steph that are there as their work to do all the hard work and keep things going. But I think we can really change Terrace, and we've started doing that, and I think we can continue in that regard. And the love for public art goes across the country. I've had calls from Burns Lake and Kitimat and Prince Rupert and Montreal. I met somebody in Prince Rupert last week that was the economic development officer for a small town in Alberta, and he said, "You do murals? How do you do that? We have to connect."
That's
so
amazing.
I'll be connecting with him when he gets back. So our recipe has been very successful here. You just look at the murals, you can tell they're done by professionals. They're really big, and that's hard to do.
And they are stunning. They really do, like, yeah. It's so obvious you're looking at an art piece, and a well done, beautiful piece of art, not something someone slapped up.
Well, and all the murals connect to our sense of place, and I wouldn't want to put up murals of Star Wars characters, spaceships, cartoon characters. They don't really connect to our sense of space. If you want that, you can hang that in your bedroom. But I don't want it on a big wall downtown, and I think that really, it builds community to have that sense of place presented in art around the town.
Hugely. I would definitely agree. That is most of the questions I had for you two. Is there anything else you want to add that you want people to know about the society and the festival?
Our society is an Indigenous organization. 5 of our 9 directors have Indigenous heritage. And that was really important for us so that we have that voice as we move the show and other pieces forward. Reconciliation doesn't work if the settlers just go ahead and do the work and tell the Indigenous folks, there, we're done. So to walk with our Indigenous neighbors through this process has been really valuable and made the art in the community and the show much stronger.
Well said. I'm glad to hear that.
Thanks.
And I don't know how long this is going to be out in the world as information, but I would say that please, check out our website, which is SkinaSalmonArtsFest.com. And, if you want to learn more about the society, there's a ton of information there on how to get involved, or, when other shows and programs and things are happening, that's a way for you to connect. And even if you're interested in knowing about the murals, there's all sorts of information and photographs and incentive to make your trip out to Terrace. So, yeah.
And come see the show.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Come see the show, please.
Opens next week, right?
Yeah, August 4th, Friday, August 4th, and it'll be on in Terrace until the 31st of August before it travels to Kitimat, and then onward to Smithers. So it's basically running from next week till November 11th in some capacity. So yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I can't wait to see it.
We can't wait to have you.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful you two sat down with us today. Talked all about art. I love talking about art. I love being in art galleries. This is such a good afternoon. But yeah, I know you both have such crazy busy schedules setting up a festival next week and many other hats you wear.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for taking time in your day to educate us, teach us about art, talk to us about Terrace.
Happy to. It's a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to
Yeah.
talk about. All right, then I think that's us for now.
Okay.
So if you'll join me, say goodbye to the camera. Did you guys figure out who the other person coming in asking for an interview was?
No.
We figured it out.
Oh.
I don't know who.
Well, you got your interview first. So
Speaking in second person about me, it's asking, I'm wondering when Jason will be in, but it's me. Never mind. It's not. It's more important is why the speakers are not playing on all the speakers. This is the bane of my existence always.
Jason's got a use, so it's 2 U's with your fingers. So
That
I'm like,
makes
well, I
way
guess
more
I could
sense.
just do that. So that's what I've been doing instead of buying new ones. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
I think that makes. I just
Perfect
wouldn't.
intro.
The deodorant.
Have you started?
Have I started? I don't know.
Oh,
Is
God.
your ear in?
No. Oh no!
Oh yes.
Welcome.
Good morning, folks.
We are at the Fix Cafe and Cyclery.
We
Did I
did
say
not plan
Cyclery
that at
right?
all.
Yeah, it's like three.
Like three, yeah.
When I see it, I pronounce celery in my head, and I have to work on cyclery. It doesn't
Really?
roll off the tongue.
The
Anyways.
fix,
I have a problem spelling it all the time. I'm always like,
The
I
celery.
really have to think about it when I spell it because I don't spell it often. I don't know, it's weird.
That's fair. You had a sign. Why would you write it?
It's true.
I'm Mike.
I'm Emma.
Maybe you've seen me before. Maybe not.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Heather.
And these are the two owners of the Fix.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today, you two, in the midst of the chaos.
Thanks for choosing us.
We were so excited when we heard about the shop. I've never seen another shop like this in Canada. I saw one in France, randomly. But this is such a unique spot where we have to talk to them.
Yeah, cool.
Will you tell us all about your business? What is it?
It's a bike shop cafe, or cafe bike shop. It's half cafe, half bike shop.
A little bit of celery.
A little bit celery.
Yeah.
Plus the teeth.
Yeah, how did it come about? It was just, honestly, I wanted to open a bike shop, but bike shops take a lot of space and a lot of money. So the cafe bike shop works? Yeah.
Seems like
Well,
it works.
I think the original plan was, you can't bike all year round here, so we needed something else for some kind of income, and people drink coffee all year round. So it was just kind of a really good combination to make sure that we can stay afloat throughout the year.
Coffee really does have no limits. Eh?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I've also always loved feeding people
Yeah.
and cooking and baking and fixing things.
Yeah. It's always been the
So,
cook in our
it
house.
just works.
I've never cooked at home. It's always Jason. Yeah, so he's always,
Okay. Mike's a great cook.
yeah.
I hate cooking. I hate it so much.
I'm not a fan of it either.
It's not
No.
fun. Like
No.
you just.
I like baking.
Yeah, baking's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Or like if I can like watch TV or read a book at the same time, like I'll read a book and cook.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I listen to a podcast
Yeah.
and cook. Yeah.
it makes it better.
Yeah.
But I will say, after 3 months on the road, I am so excited for our kitchen. I think I'm gonna cook through all of August.
I bet.
Just
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah. Have a little bit more control over the food you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Go home and barbecue.
Yeah. Oh man. We have a barbecue. We have a stove. It's high living.
Are you still at Makers?
No, we've actually moved quite a lot. We went to the Sandman, and then it was not a good place to be. So then we went to the Rest Inn. We couldn't have mentioned brands.
Okay.
And now we're at a lovely hotel, which fine, I won't mention. But we actually met some
Nameless hotel.
friends, an unnameless hotel. That's actually been a great place. It's fine. Like,
It's
it's decent.
It's a good location. It's right in the forest. Also next to a river.
Oh,
I'm sure by now
perfect.
you're like,
Yeah.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
It's like Skeena.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, but being that we do a lot of work on our laptops, it's not the best. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a bit of a. It's got thick walls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it has thick walls.
Cement bricks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you guys need to do laundry or anything, you can
ambiguity there.
come to our house if you need anything like that.
We actually
Thank
met
you.
Tyler and Tanya, unless it's Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya.
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 I'm trying to read that all day. They offered their house to us.
Oh, that's lovely.
We're gonna go stay with them.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah. They said basement and then sent me a photo of like a gorgeous house. Like
Can't go wrong with that.
gorgeous room. But anyway, so
Has
we
big windows
Yeah, has big windows.
for a
I just-
basement. Yeah.
Yeah, I words wrong, but
Cool. Very cool.
Morning.
yeah,
It's good.
It is very much morning.
I'm glad it's been a good trip for you guys.
Really
It's
has.
been really phenomenal.
Yeah. Have you been out mountain biking at all yet?
We've only gotten to watch mountain bikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we climbed around a little bit in the Hub Trail Network. We actually followed Tyler a little bit, and man, the little bit that we've seen so far is just like
That's
looks
cool.
amazing out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying, which kind of makes me want to try it.
Yeah. Do you have a bike?
I don't know.
You can borrow mine while you're here if you want.
Everyone at Terrace is so nice.
Just borrow our things.
Yeah. Do you want to run the cafe too?
I'm honestly, the last time, you can test my bacon.
Yeah.
The last time I worked like serving customers, I got fired because I talked too much.
That's beautiful.
Kid you
I love
not.
that.
Speaking of
There's
pets, speaking of
Hey,
pets,
JT.
Hello. Sorry.
Good morning. JT works in the bike shop.
JT.
Yeah. He's also a paramedic in town.
Oh,
He
super.
came to
Yeah.
build a bike for his sister, but I didn't tell him we were doing a live stream.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah.
You just-
Sorry,
Live the
JT.
dream. Be over there.
Like, just tinker behind us if that's
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Oh, he's more than
Ab-
welcome
Okay,
to.
yeah.
But it's,
absolutely.
We
Yeah.
are. You will be on.
I want people like seeing me.
He
That's
doesn't
okay,
very
nobody's-
foul-mouthed us.
nobody's ever
Actually,
gonna
maybe
watch
it's not
these,
a good
so.
idea.
Stop saying that.
It just helps with my nerves. I don't know.
Yeah. I've had too much coffee. I'm sweaty.
How long have you guys lived in Terrace now?
I'm born and raised Terrace.
Okay.
So all my family lives here. We moved away when we were 19, and then we came back like 12 years ago.
Sure. Yeah, we've been here for 12 years.
Yeah.
Terrace for 12 years.
Have you two been together since you were 19?
Oh gosh, yeah. Since we were
20
18 and 19.
24 years.
And now we're pretty old. 24 years we've been
24
together.
years.
Yeah, that's a long
Holy
time.
smokes.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, it may like you must have been tried and true tested if you're running a business together.
we've done a lot of like work together. Like when we lived in Fort St. John, we worked like together at the same school. When we worked in Nunavut, we worked and lived together as well. Like most of our lives have been very intertwined. The only time we've had a really clear separation with our work life is when he was a teacher and I was a social worker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was here as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. So you both were working different jobs for quite a while in Terrace before you came to this.
Yeah.
It's definitely challenging to run a business together, though. It's different than working for somebody else. Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to talk about that more?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Let me tell you how I really feel. I'm just kidding. No, it's good. I wouldn't do it with anybody else. There's no way. Yeah. Yeah.
I get that. It's a good sign. So how long has the Fix been open then?
Year and 3 months, 4 months,
A year and 4 months.
16 months.
Yeah.
That was good math.
Yeah, thanks.
16 months. People always do that with babies. It's weird.
Is this like
Yeah,
a baby?
This is my baby. It is 18 months. And I gotta do the math. I'm like, so it's a
243
year and
months
6
old.
months.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, a year and 4 months. 16 months old.
Yeah.
Our baby is. Our baby's
Our
16
baby,
months
yeah.
old.
That's pretty exciting.
It is exciting, yeah. And then next week, we actually take over the George Little House.
The George Little House.
What's the George Little
What
House?
is that? Yeah.
So the George Little House is a heritage home in town here that is actually also the train station.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the one right downtown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, super exciting.
And so is it going to be more like coffee shop, or is it like, what do you mean take over?
Well, we're gonna... I don't know yet. It's gonna be a coffee shop for sure, but I think like there's a lot of opportunity to do a lot of other things. So once we're in the space and able to, have a feel for it and figure out what'll be a good fit, and then we'll start moving forward with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so will you run both locations?
Yeah.
Or, wow.
Yeah.
How insanely successful have you been in the last year to be like moving to a second location?
How insanely successful.
That's an
I think there's a
unusual-
difference between a successful and a glutton for punishment.
You're
Those are two
laughing
very
really
different things.
hard.
It's very subtle. How insanely successful have
I
you
don't
been?
know how to do subtle. If you want subtle questions,
No, I don't.
I'll go.
I know this is perfect.
I don't know if we ever
I've never put much thought
expected
in.
it to work, all of this necessarily.
So our original idea was Jason's going to work on a bike or two, and we'll sit and drink coffee with the person who brings the bike in.
And I'll
That
work
was-
part-time as a substitute teacher.
And I was going to work as a social worker in Atlin because I did 7 on 7 off in Atlin, BC. So I was here for a week and then working in Atlin for a week. So I'm like, oh, that'll be perfect. But since we opened the doors, it's been nuts. Like
Super
it's
busy.
just been super busy. The community responded, I think, way faster and stronger than we expected. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
Like we've never actually advertised at all about this location other than through our own Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, we've
And it's-
never advertised.
Just for context, it's not really somewhere that someone could like accidentally wander to.
No, it's kind of a weird.
It's kind of a weird
kind
location.
of a weird location.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it works though. Like somebody walks in the door, right? You caffeinate them up, and maybe they don't walk in. Maybe they roll into the shop, right?
Yeah,
and then,
totally.
And then they go out and pedal a lot. Enjoy their trail ride.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something happens on their bike, and they're like, "Oh, I can go back and drink a coffee and
Yeah,
get my
absolutely.
bike tuned up."
Totally. Bikes and coffee go hand in hand. Like, yeah, it's very. Yeah.
It's been really cool to see people not involved in cycling get interested in cycling because they're interested in coffee and food.
Oh, you walk
Most
in
of the
here and
world
it's
likes
hard.
coffee and food.
Yeah.
And then
Personally, big fan.
there's a bit of biking on the side, and they get interested in it. So
Yeah.
it's cool. I always enjoy talking to those people.
Yeah.
And were you both avid bikers before opening a bike shop?
Heather, no,
Never
and I've been
biked before in
biking
my life.
since I was a kid.
Now I own 2 bikes.
Yeah, it's been cool to see.
Fast the addiction.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah.
Heather's got so excited about cycling. It's been fun.
Super fun. Yeah.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
it's something you guys like to do together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very
Just
hesitant.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I've like for mountain biking, I've only ever gone with really Jason and a couple of friends. Like I'm still really new at it. But for road biking, because I've been doing a lot. I got a gravel bike, and we're traveling. We planned a trip to bike to Hawaii. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, so we leave in August, and then we're gonna go see the music festival there at the same time. Yeah, so we're gonna bike to Rupert and then take the ferry and bike around Hawaii.
That
Very
sounds
exciting.
amazing.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I might die, but it'll be okay.
I'm petting a dog here, by the way. The weird things do with my hand.
Yeah, I was waiting for a moment where she'd tell me.
There's a dog here. You just can't see it.
Shop dog.
Very cute
What's your dog's name?
Raleigh.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
He's 5.
And is
He's
it
a good boy.
True's favorite snack is cucumbers?
He loves cucumbers. Yeah, the staff feed him cucumbers all the time, and he gets very excited about it. Yeah.
I was watching some of your employees come over and like feed him a cucumber and eat some
Yeah.
cucumbers and feed him.
Yeah.
I think he's got a pretty good life.
Yeah, it's actually pretty sweet too, because like when some of our staff are off work, they're like, can we take Raleigh out with us?
Yeah, they take
We're going
Raleigh out
for a
to
walk.
play.
Can we take Raleigh out to play? We're like, yes, you can. And Raleigh loves it. Yeah. It's like having lots of aunts and uncles. Yeah.
Good for anyone growing up,
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
And spoiled with cucumber.
Yes. Yeah.
So, what's a typical day like for you two in the shop?
It's different for both of us.
Yeah,
for sure.
it is. It's very different because I manage the cafe part quite a bit, and then he does the bike shop part. And then, like, because we knew the George Little House was coming up, we were trying to work me out of the cafe as much as possible to get really competent staff to kind of take over a lot of what my role was, which was scheduling, grocery shopping, baking, filling in shifts, all of the above, just all the things. But now that the cafe is doing quite well with the staff that we have, I've been helping out the bike shop a lot more with inventory, getting stuff up on the wall, making appointments, stuff like that. So yeah, it's been not bad at all actually. It never gets boring. Like, that's for sure.
It is hard to imagine a boring day.
Yeah. Like this morning we got here already, and then all of a sudden staff were like, oh, we need cream, and we need this, and I'm like, all right, I got 20 minutes. I got to go get those things.
Yeah, it was exciting. So we came in and like we saw Jason briefly as he was doing 6 things.
Yeah.
And then I saw like a coffee and your laptop, and I was like, she's gone. And then like
Yeah.
it's just like 20 minutes passed, and you like ran through. No one got my text, and then ran back out again. And then I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like very happy you two had time to like settle for seconds.
Yeah, I pull up with the van after grocery shopping, and I always text somebody, open the back door, please. So I bring all the groceries in the back door, and then I wait, and then I give up, and I come in, and I unlock the door. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah.
You took it very well. I would have been very much a salty ass if that had happened.
I was once, and there was a customer here who had like made a comment about it, and I was like, this isn't funny. She was like, and I'm like, oh, I need to mind myself. She was in the next day, and she was like, I really have to apologize for my comment. I'm like, you have nothing to apologize for whatsoever. I'm so sorry. I felt really bad, but it's hard too, right? Like, there's a lot of pressure and stress to do things and do things well. So you really have to pay attention with how you come across to everybody all the time and like really mind yourself. That's a big challenge for me because I'm very vocal. Yeah. You always know what kind of mood I am, and always, yeah. I wear it on my face really well.
I would like that. I have no capacity to hide anything.
Yeah. It's a good challenge for me though. It is.
What's a typical day like for you?
Day in the bike shop. I always joke that I fix the bikes and smile at people.
Kiss the
So,
babies.
yeah, I fix the bikes and I smile at the people. That's kind of how my day goes. Usually it's me, sometimes there's someone else. And it could be building bikes that have come in for people to buy and go ride, or we're repairing bikes. Usually there's a few walk-ins, people come in, flat tires, broken things.
Not bad. And how do you like bike shops always seem pretty busy, a couple things happening, but the element of like a coffee shop right here, how is it for you to be like fixing in the middle of everything?
It's a lot sometimes, but I enjoy all the chaos for sure. The time that it's a lot is I get to the end of the day and I'm like, I didn't fix the bikes, but I spent too much time talking to the people. Tomorrow I gotta fix the bikes and less talking to the people.
Yep.
That's kind of how it goes. Yeah. Sometimes you'll find me in the back. That's when there's things happening.
When you're out here, it's conversation level.
Yeah.
You're back there.
And then I go hide in the back, and then things happen.
He's really good at multitasking. Like, he's really good at having so many things going on at once. He used to be a shop teacher, so he taught metalwork. So having like a classroom full of kids on all these machines, he really has to pay attention to like so much at once, right? So I think this is like kind of perfect for his element. Like
the busy's fun.
Yeah,
I can go make cinnamon buns, make a couple lattes, talk to people at the till, come rebuild a fork, like focus on something,
change the
talk
music.
to the people. I don't know, it's good. Yeah.
It's good.
I always think sometimes it feels like a job after a year and 4 months. Sorry, I guess it feels like a job. When you work for yourself, it's kind of different. Like, you feel like it's the thing you have to do. You're not doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it in words, but where was I going? I got lost with this.
Sometimes it feels like a job?
Yeah. If I have to do a job, fixing bikes in a cafe is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if I could pick a thing that I had to do for eternity, I would probably be like, I'd like to fix bikes in a cafe.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think you picked pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So, it's nice to being here and being able to like provide an environment where people feel it's really inclusive. Right? We have all walks of life. We've got a lot of mountain bikers, we have a lot of road bikers, we have people with walkers that come in that need to be fixed, right? Like
we fixed a few wheelchairs, walkers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and if you sit here for the day, like when people who walk in, it's not just like one genre or one, kind of like group of people. It's like everybody. We have the hospital next door, across the street. We have all the construction workers across the street. Yeah, it's kind of cool to know that we can create a space where everybody feels comfortable. Because I think, like, with our staff, I think one of the things that we are most proud of is we're able to provide a space where it's everybody, not everybody fits into just one little role. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody's a part of the bigger picture. So I think everybody feels a bit more invested. We've had really great staff, thankfully. Who really take the time to understand our whole concept. Not just, I'm here to make a coffee and go home. They really understand that it takes a team to run the whole thing. So I really, really like the fact that we can provide that for our staff. And I think customers who come in see that. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of cool.
I can attest to that, yeah, coming in, like walking through the doors the first time we came in here, everyone seemed super involved. Right? They weren't just showing up to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even hello.
Excuse me, can I have some cups?
I somehow decided it was time for attention.
Yeah.
I mean, can't blame them.
Yeah, it was just like, massive grins. Like slinging coffee, and it was just a good open atmosphere. I think that's probably really telling to the owner's mentality of this is sweet. I get to come in and chat with folks and work on forks.
Yeah.
Do whatever else with bikes, but also just have that open, inviting environment.
Do you have a lot of staff that works on both sides of the shop?
No.
No. It's just you fixing bikes.
Yeah, me and sometimes JT hiding over there off the camera. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, having said that, like, we've had some staff help with inventory and stuff like that and organizing, and like, if we needed them to, they would in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's just the bike side seems so self-sustaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, dog.
Raleigh.
So what do you guys love about Terrace? Like why come back here and stay here?
We were in Fort St. John, and I would travel to Terrace every summer to come kayaking and fishing and biking, because there's not much about it in Fort St. John. And then a job came up in Terrace, and I was like, why don't we live where we holiday? It makes way more sense.
Yep.
Yeah. And we could afford to live here. We could buy a house for a reasonable amount of money. 15 minutes out of your door, you could be fly fishing on the river, or riding a bike, or paddling a kayak, or climbing a rock, whatever you want to do.
Not bad.
Yeah, we used to talk about where we'd like to live in BC, because our jobs before as a teacher and a social worker, we could kind of move anywhere we wanted. And we were like, well, I don't think there's anywhere better but Terrace. We stayed.
I was looking at Whitehorse. I would love to live in Yukon. I love the north. Yeah. I was looking at jobs and stuff there, and then Jason found one here, and I'm like, well, I guess home it is for me. Yeah.
And it must be nice too to have family close.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a lot of things all at once, but usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, how did you end up in a Calgary?
We were in Cambridge Bay.
In Nunavut, Cambridge Bay.
Nunavut.
Yeah.
Cambridge Bay, Nunavut. We were young, like 21, 22, something like that.
I was 21. You were probably 22.
And I was running a climbing wall in Easter Seals camp for kids with special needs.
In Cambridge Bay?
No, sorry,
this is before
in
that.
Kelowna. In Kelowna, I was
That
running the
makes way
climbing
more
wall there.
sense.
Yeah.
And it was like a part-time job that didn't pay very well. I was kind of between jobs at the time. And I met a dude, and he was like, you're really good with kids. Do you have a partner? And I thought it was kind of strange, but anyways, we met with him once again, and he ran a group home in Cambridge Bay, and then 3 weeks later we were on a plane to Cambridge Bay, Nunavut, and we lived there for 3 years, and we ran the group home. There was six kids, aged infant to 16, that lived there.
Whoa.
You're just barely older than them.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Wow.
So yeah, Inuit kids in a group home in Cambridge Bay. Cambridge Bay is a community of about 1,200 people, give or take,
Right.
in the high Arctic, way above the Arctic Circle.
Yeah. That's... You can't get much more north and still have it down.
It was very cool. Like, I remember it so fondly. I could tell stories that go on
But
and
we've
on.
done a lot of traveling, and you tell me about like those other, like Thailand and other places, Costa Rica and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I went there, but when I talk about Nunavut, I'm like, I remember everything.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it was very
it is
vivid.
so imprinted. Yeah,
It's hard to forget.
yeah, it's just stunning there. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Big herds of caribou and muskox, and it's very wild. It's cool.
it's beautiful.
So I imagine a lot of that, the multitasking you're talking about, probably started building there, if not was polished there, because like, yeah, you know, I imagine it was like, yeah, a wild house at some points for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. With the little kids, and
Yes.
it was very cool, though. Most parents have to work really hard to support their kids, and our job was just to be really good parents to the kids. Like, we didn't have to worry about all the other stuff that goes along with it,
Yeah.
which
Because we
is kind of
lived,
cool.
we
That
lived
was
with them in the group. Like we were there 24/7. It was like a group home parent style of a group home. So yeah, so it was like, yeah, we were there all the time. Like, it's not like we got to go home at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was our home. Yeah.
busy and chaos, but we spent a lot of time. In the summer, we were out fishing every day. And we were always taking the kids out hunting and adventuring, and so it was cool. We had the energy and the imagination to plan adventures all the time. So.
That's
it
true.
was fun.
Might have really helped to be in your early 20s for that.
Yeah.
Got like a big meaty
And everyone in the community was so kind and so supportive. Lovely people.
Yeah. I still talk to a lot of them. A lot of the kids who lived with us then. Yeah.
And this is like 15, 20 years later?
Yeah, we're
We're
old.
old.
Yeah, 20 years ago. That's wild.
It was wild.
I could talk about it like it was yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
But that just, yeah, that
They're
just goes
like
to
all
how.
grown up now.
Yeah, and they have their own
Yeah.
kids, and yeah, it's kind of cool. It was fun. I coached soccer when I was up there as well, so I have a lot. Like I still keep in touch with a lot of the old soccer players and stuff like that. Yeah, it's super. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff there. It was fun.
That's amazing.
We did a naming sticker.
Wow. Do you guys do any coaching here?
No.
No.
So I do a bit of mountain bike coaching with a mountain bike club.
Gorka?
It's through sure it is through Torca, but I keep the bike club at the middle school here running throughout the summer.
Oh.
So we usually do group rides for them.
Because you taught metal? No.
Yeah, taught metalwork for 11 years at the middle school here.
Wow. It's neat that all of the different things you guys have done have kind of like accumulated and making this beautiful community space. Like it really, you can hear it all coming towards this.
Yeah. I taught metalwork and foods, which were my two favorite things, and the only two useful courses in a school. And math. Math is
That's important.
I think that could play
Science cool.
into both. Yeah, you got to measure your flour sometimes. You can't dump it in, but it also helps to measure out a piece of tube you're cutting or whatever.
We actually heard from the communities, like folks in the community we were talking to. Like everyone we were talking to, we asked about like where to go and like who we should talk to in the community. What do you love about Terrace? Who do we talk to? And there was the general like we were told like this place in Sherwood really like shifted the community and really like giving people a space to gather.
Yeah.
That was really not like specific and like offering coffee and bike fixing, but not like anyone and everyone is welcome.
Right.
Have you guys noticed, like, you've been busy the whole time? What have people said about it? Like, how has the community responded?
Well, first of all, it makes me feel pretty special that people say that.
Have you heard that before? Has somebody?
Maybe. It
Yeah.
feels different coming from somebody else, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
true. We're
We've heard that from numerous people. That,
We've had a few things that stick out. There's been some people that have been here spending time in the hospital that really, I don't know, maybe made an imprint or impact on me and realized that we've created such a comfortable space for people. Some of those people would just be here hanging out every day, and it was a place for them to escape from the chaos of the hospital. And yeah, we built such a relationship with so many people that I didn't expect or foresee. Like, yeah, we definitely built a community, and people come in, they know us by our first names, and we know about them, and we know about their kids, and
Watching kids grow up is
we see their
bonkers.
kids grow up here.
Yeah,
And
it's like when they were babies when we first opened, and now they're
Thank
like
you.
running in and walking around, and yeah, it's pretty bonkers.
oh yeah, there's kids that come in and they know Heather by their first name, and
Oh, there's one little boy, Heather, look, Heather. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
that's awesome.
So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
for being
nice.
one of
we're
the
just
people
passing on a
that-
message. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of cool from the outside perspective what people see, because we're in the thick of it. We see a completely different perspective, right? And like, it's chaos. Like, but other people don't see that, which is good.
Or if they do, they actively want to be a part of it because there's
pretty
been a
nice.
steady stream of people
That's
that
true.
are like
Yeah, that's
in
very
and out
true.
of here since we started. So
And I must say, people are they're much better than I thought they would be. We don't get customers that are rude. Like, people are generally really kind
Yeah.
and
It's really impressive.
supportive.
Yeah.
Much more so than I thought.
Customer service is difficult. It is in general, dealing with so many different people and personalities and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like, I can't tell you of one person that was ever belligerent or, you know, outright rude to any staff.
Even I think we did all the construction of this place to renovate it, and when I put in the trim in the bathroom, I was very careful to put silicone around the whole floor, because I'm like, people are going to piss on the floor. People are jerks. This is going to happen. And in 16 months, no one has pissed on the floor. So, there you go. People are way better than you think they are.
Yeah, it's kind of true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're actually talking about this a little bit with like Christian from Chains Mountain and a rock climber in the community, Hugo. Like, it's Terrace, for the most part, I think, or maybe what we've been exposed to, has a community mentality that like fosters that good in people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, yeah, we want to be here, or we want to encourage like better things to happen, and so everyone's doing their part, and it's like overlapping so well.
Yeah.
Like not pissing on the floor.
It's kind of a silly example, but I always remember. I was worried about it. I was like, people are going to make a mess. Someone's going to piss on the floor. I got to be prepared for this.
Yeah.
But no, people are better.
Yeah.
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 To be fair, I worked in a middle school before, and sometimes those kids, they piss on the floor.
You know, you just don't have the height sometimes.
Yeah. Or the aim. I don't know.
Fortunately, they usually come supervised here, and the parents take care of that, I think.
Yeah, middle schoolers. I was like, all the adults are coming in supervised?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
What's been your favorite thing so far about having the shop?
Favorite thing? When someone makes me a coffee and brings it to me in the morning.
You staring at your staff?
I smile from ear to ear, yeah.
I love making my own coffee. I do. I enjoy making my own coffee in the morning.
Favorite thing? Just the opportunity to be playful with things. Like, we're always making different food and always making different drinks, and and always different ideas from people in the community. They're like, hey, you should try this, or I think that's been the most fun.
Yeah, actually, I think my favorite thing is like it's not so structured. Like being a government worker for so long, you know what I mean? Like there's so many rules and regulations, and there's this strict structure. Here, like you can make it your own, and I really, really like that. Like I can come and I can goof around with the staff, and you just get to know people on a very different level. It's really nice. Yeah. And there's a lot of wiggle room. Like you make mistakes. It's like, oh well, you learn from it, you move on, and you do something different. Like I really enjoy managing staff. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things, because I like being able to provide an environment where it's a safe place to make mistakes and learn. Like it's not like, you know what I mean?
I've also met so many cool people. And just different experiences and seeing how different people live differently. Like, there's people on their way from Alaska down to South America that stop in on their bikes. And there's been a group that was on their way. They were on a mountain bike backcountry ski trip up to Juneau, Alaska, and left from here. And every day we meet new, unique people doing new, unique things.
Somebody biking from the States to Alaska.
Oh yeah, he was actually from the UK.
Oh yeah.
And he had broken his bike in Mesiaden, and we got him back on a bike. And
do you want to know how we got him back on a bike? Do you want to know how?
Yeah, I sold Heather's bike.
Yeah. Sold my panniers, my bike rack,
I was like, here, you
everything.
have all of Heather's
you can
things.
Have all
You're
Heather's
trying to go to
get
Alaska. He was stuck in Terrace, to be fair, living in a hotel. And I was like, we got to get you going, buddy. You need a bike.
I remember when we first met you, you were like looking up to replace all of the
Yes.
things that had just been sold.
Yeah.
Sorry,
For the
I
second
sold all
time.
your stuff.
The second time.
I definitely do respect though that you like wanted to get that guy moving.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of having your own business is you can do that. You know what I mean? Like you can do whatever means that are within your power to make sure, somebody has a safe trip. And that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see how much you guys have really made this shop your own. Like, you can't see it on camera, but like all of this stool, like everything is half a bike.
And all the stuff in here came from somewhere in the community too, which is fun. All the steel that's in the bar there, the steel posts, they came from a sawmill that used to be in Terrace, Skeena Cellulose.
Yeah.
And then the spruce countertop and that countertop, they came off the beach in Kitselas, and they were sawed up in a sawmill. And then, the tables came from a restaurant that was in Terrace. Friends all came and painted the mural.
Yeah. The wood came from a friend of ours.
Well, the cedar, that was a beam that held up a friend of mine's house, and he had his house lifted, and he passed away in a car accident, and I had all this wood in my backyard. I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, oh, this is the perfect thing to do with it. It's going in the cafe.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's there.
So there's all little bits of the community and little, I don't know,
we try
parts
to
of Terrace in here.
Recycle, you reuse things as much as possible. I think that was definitely high on our list of things we needed to do.
I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone the other day, and I said I built the cafe with junk out of my backyard. And he's like, but people need to understand what your backyard looks like, Jason.
The floor that we're sitting
he's like,
on
it's
right
not
now,
the average backyard.
Jason and I, we spent like hours doing this floor. Where did you get the wood again?
The wood came from a sawmill outside of, not Hazelton. I can't remember the name of the place. It does not matter. Sure, Kiwanga?
Yeah.
They had a contract. This is a digression. Do you want to go down on this strange adventure about cut up 2x4s?
We're all about
It's totally unrelated to most everything else. They had a contract with a bunch of big sawmills like Tolko and West Fraser. And this is how I understand it, is the caveat. To take these cut up pieces of 2x4s, glue them together, and make longer 2x4s, finger jointed 2x4s. And then the housing market in the States crashed, and they were still left with all these pieces of wood showing up that have to be cut and glued back together. Anyways, they were selling 2x4s for super cheap, these glued together 2x4s. So I went and picked up a bunch of them from that sawmill. Anyways, short story long, that's what the wooden floor's made out of. All sorts of little tiny 2x4s.
At home we have this little tiny planer.
Oh yeah, it was all planed on a very small wood
very
planer
small.
on the back of a flat deck truck.
It took days.
In the middle of a snowstorm, actually. There's a picture of me in a snowstorm planing 2x4s to put in the bike shop floor.
Yeah. And then, we came and nailed them all down. That was a long week.
The wood floor's nice, though. I would recommend a 2x4 floor for anyone that stands on their feet all day.
It's true. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up with a similar floor, and I was like, best floor ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be able to mill that all yourself, or plane rather, in a snowstorm.
It was fun.
Yeah.
How much of this did you guys put together with your own two hands?
Everything.
All of it, yeah. We did all the painting, we did all the drywall, we did all the flooring.
We tore down all the
built
old
bar.
stuff too, though, because it used to be a veterinarian's office.
Oh wow.
So they had like that little wall right there where the mural starts.
The camera has no idea what we're talking about.
That's okay.
There was a wall up there.
And it went all the way across, and back here were multiple rooms. So we had to tear all of that down and bring it all to the dump. Yeah.
And how long did that take? How long did you spend?
Probably a month tearing it all down.
The whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I think
tearing it down or
3-4
building
months.
everything?
Oh.
3-4 months?
We got it in September, October, and we opened in March.
More than 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Those are different
December,
numbers.
January, February, March.
5
months?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 months.
Which isn't bad.
All right.
It's a fairly quick turnaround
Seems
for.
quick.
Yeah. We painted all the ceiling and everything.
Oh, yeah,
we
it
had
was
this
pretty
huge
gross.
scaffolding, and I would just
Water
stand up
stains
top,
and flickering lights.
and he would just push me along while I stood there. Turn around, all the way back and forth. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
It really does sound like you had fun with it the whole way along.
We're still married, so I mean, we did something right.
That does say a lot.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah.
That's what say though. from like vet clinic
What's that?
from vet clinic
Oh yeah, vet
to
clinic.
like
Yeah.
beautiful shop in
Yeah.
5 months.
Yeah.
To a very solid community hub.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, not too bad, hey? And then a friend of ours did all the art stuff on the menu and the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, that wall mural is like,
Yeah.
you've taken what's around the town of Terrace, you also incorporated it inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had never even made an espresso drink before we opened a cafe either.
I didn't touch the
It was like an
espresso
idea.
machine
That's it.
until like probably 3 or 4 months after we had opened. I'm like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, she was too intimidated by the whole
I was a
thing.
bit intimidated, but I was also like, if I know how to do everything, then I'm expected to do everything. So there's some things I'm like, I'm not going to learn that.
Good strategy.
Yeah, it's good boundaries. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
How about now?
Now I do all the things.
It's pretty awesome.
And I'm
in life.
learning
You
to
can
fix
just,
bikes, which
you
is
can
great.
just choose a thing and just do it, and you get it. You figure it out.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I get the intimidation of espresso machines though.
Yeah.
I once touched the wrong machine in the wrong way and exploded the whole thing.
No.
I was like head to toe in like coffee beans.
That's bonkers.
It was pretty embarrassing because I was on a film set and we were shooting in a coffee shop and I was the cinematographer of the show. And I was like,
comes
that's
a guy,
fine. I can
comes a
make
guy
coffee.
with a bike. What should I do? Should I help him with a bike?
I think
Or
you
tell
got
him to come back in a bit.
I think you should help.
Just help him. Get JT to
I'll
help
help
him.
him. I'll help him with a bike, and then I'll come back.
JT's wondering too.
Oh.
JT's like, well, I know I helped him yesterday, so I gotta see what's going
Yeah,
on.
that's probably a good idea.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning.
We were talking about you because I saw you driving around with your truck, and I was like, what do I do? Do I help him? I can help him, and then I'll come back.
Sounds good. Part of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to like
Usual.
make plans and follow through because there's always constant interruptions. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all, but there's just always something new coming up, always somebody walking in the door with a question, always, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, nothing ever goes to plan.
I honestly love that about your shop. Like,
Yeah.
this would be a great place to work. You're doing something physical.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Like 10 things going on. It's a good time.
Yeah, yeah, and he loves it. He's really, really good at multitasking. So, I'm not.
No?
No.
You prefer one task?
I prefer
than the
one
other?
task, yeah. Like yesterday I had like a list of things and I'd be in the middle of something and Jason would be like, well, you gotta do this. I'm like, okay, but you just like 2 seconds ago asked me to do this. He's like, yeah, but this needs to be done. I'm like, oh, okay, that's great, but let me just finish this thing first. He's like, fine. Like, his
Starting?
brain moves way faster than mine. Hi, Stinker.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Makes a good dynamic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a good balance. One brain's like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
The other
totally.
one's like, I got this done. I got this done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need both.
You need both. It's a good balance. Balance each other out really well. Yeah.
It's good to hear it's still working 24 years down
24,
the line.
yes.
Very optimistic.
Yeah. How long have you guys been together?
A couple years now.
Couple
Two
years.
and a half.
Oh.
Yeah. How many months is that?
Darn
We'll skip that.
don't know. Darn don't know. Didn't swear.
No.
I didn't finish it, so
No.
what's the curse word?
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We're talking about multitasking versus steady task achieving.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
I
I kind of feel attacked.
well, I was also
So
saying
does-
that makes we also might have a scenario of one person doing 10 things at once at a really high speed and one person steadily just doing one thing
Yeah.
and getting it done doing the next.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It really is, yeah. Because you can like do 6 things and they all go pretty well, but then you also sometimes forget about a thing or two. At least I do.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people get stuck doing things that they don't really belong doing. Some things are just naturally easier for others. Like, I don't know. I can do a million tasks at the same time, and
Yeah.
it might not be for everyone.
He's way better at like computer stuff. Like naturally, like he's really good. Well, you're kind of good at everything you do.
Aww.
But like yesterday, he's like, "Oh, I need you to go online and send this email and do this and this and this," and I'm like, yeah. And he had it done in 2 seconds. And I'm like, that makes more sense that you do that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. If I'm ever on the website trying to find something, he's just like, no, just click. No, you gotta just give it to me. I'm like, okay. And he'll just do it. And he gets it done so fast. So, oh, does that sound familiar?
I also feel a little attacked here.
Just click right there, it'd be done.
Yeah.
You could just click it.
Yeah, just click it. Yeah. That's funny. But it's after being together for so long, you know who's good at what.
You gotta
right?
play.
Like,
You gotta play those strengths.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's not a like a battle. It's a. There's a lot of hair in my arm. It's a
dog hair everywhere.
Yeah.
It's okay. It proves we're actually talking to a dog.
Yeah,
Not just making the whole thing up.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. No, it's like a good dynamic to feed into, and just play to each other's strengths, and it makes the day go by so much faster.
Yeah.
I mean, there are those openings for arguments, but you move past those pretty fast. I think most of the time. Coffee helps.
Coffee helps.
Coffee helps everything.
Getting outside helps. Biking helps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. That balance is really important. Like, we could live here. Like, we could have a bed in the back and be here 24/7 and still not get everything done and have a huge list. But you have to, like, let some things go and be like, well, it is what it is, and we're going to go for a bike ride today. Yeah.
You say biking helps. Biking's always like therapy. Like everything disappears. You can't think about the troubles of the day. You can't think of things that didn't go well. You can't think about what you need to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention to exactly what's going on with your body and your bike, and everything just slows down and disappears.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I used to do
Aside from the slowing down, I do not find things slow when I'm out
So
bike.
I think everything in your brain slows down.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I haven't got past this internal screen.
all the thinks slow down, I guess.
That makes sense.
And they're replaced by like urgent thinks, like root, rock, turn, brakes.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No, I agree. Like, I've done a lot of trail running, and trail running was always my thing. I would run all the time. And now that I'm getting a little bit older, my joints don't like it as much. So I've always, like, suffered because I haven't been able to get out on the trails as much. But now that I'm able to go biking and I'm getting more confident in that, it's kind of replacing that self-care. Yeah, so it's really nice. I like it a lot. Yeah.
that is important. Yeah, and it really pops up in so many ways too. Like you're saying, trail running. Just getting out. I find for me is like a reset is like a good walk in the woods or getting out into the nature somehow, and it just slows all those things down. Whether it's behind handlebars or it's just my 2 feet running up a hill or next to a river or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It helps. Yeah. See, there's like so many avenues that you need to take advantage of those.
Yeah, you
Slow
do.
down,
You
reset.
have to look at your own mental health and self-care. Otherwise, I mean, if you can't meet your own needs, how can you meet anybody else's? And how can you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because it improves your quality of life, and that's essential. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to come back into work and have that massive smile on your face.
Yeah.
Or, sit down behind your computer and rattle off 21 emails. back to back.
Simultaneously. I mean, back to back. You got to do them all at once so they don't get done. If you don't start 3 emails simultaneously, how are you going to finish them? That might be worse than you. Seems like you get a lot of things done. I start a lot of things.
True.
Do you have any advice for folks trying to work together?
Oh, jeez.
Gin and tonic.
No.
We haven't touched. We've
We've
brought,
been carrying a 2-liter bottle of tonic for
which
3
is
months.
which is ridiculous.
Of
'cause we
tonic?
could-
Just the tonic?
Well, we had
well,
the gin,
there's
but-
other things too, but
Oh,
no, we don't drink. Sorry, go on.
well, we just have to sip and wine test.
We spit it out. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
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 we haven't touched that at all, have we? I don't know.
We've been to a lot of really lovely breweries that have been really lovely with giving us really lovely beers.
It's true.
That is nice.
This is true.
To try
yeah.
all the different like flavors and like it's quite the art. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. So to like taste all the different like flavors and ways of brewing and stuff, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
To work with your partner, though, you have to be really kind. I think that's kind of it.
Very kind and
Approach
patient.
everything with kindness and patience. 'Cause-
Including yourself.
Yeah. I think patience and being supported is like
Yeah.
essential. Yeah. And like
I think you have to assume that your partner is doing the best they can always.
Yeah.
Because, there's no other real way to look at it.
and it's important to like meet them where they're at, not where you expect them to be. Right? Like because if you expect like A, B, and C, but they're really at E, F, and G, like you know what I mean? It's kind of a
Yeah, I think the hardest part is we do things differently too. And
Yeah.
it's to step back and look like, oh,
and I'm okay with that.
she did that totally different than I would have done it, but she got to the same result, the same outcome. She got there.
With a bit of micromanaging though, right? Just a little bit.
You can use some help along the way
Yeah,
sometimes, for
totally.
certain, but
Is your iPhone?
But-
Or is it laptop?
No, it's the laptop. We've moved on beyond what we have copyright to, and I hadn't figured out a solution yet.
Okay.
what's wrong with the music?
Well, this isn't our music anymore. We
I-
don't have the rights
We
to this.
absolutely love music, but our
Oh, I wonder if
cows
somebody from the front changed it. Sorry.
absolutely love our cows, but I don't.
Was it break time around here?
Pardon me?
You're doing a live stream interview.
Do you want to be on camera?
You're on the internet. You win.
You win. Do you want to come join us?
Dusty
Okay.
Trails.
Dusty Tracks BC.
Dusty Tracks BC.
No, not at all.
Okay. That's okay.
Nope,
That's
sorry.
okay.
The
Being
mics
on
are
camera is
pointed this way.
terrifying.
Amy's a teacher. And Jason taught with her for a really long time. And we used to run together all the time. Yeah,
We've
we've
done many adventures.
been many adventures. We ran the death race together.
What's the
Yeah,
death race?
yeah.
What's the death
And then
race?
what was the other one?
It was, how long was the death race?
100, I don't even remember.
125
race.
Death race.
Race.
But it was broken up into 5 stages. So
Yeah.
Heather had the
First
hardest.
stage.
Did you?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It was so hard
But
to
she
black
had the
out.
hardest one in Sinister 7.
In Sinister
though.
7, yeah, that was hard. I cried a lot. Yeah.
We were bad.
We were badass.
That's,
Right here.
yeah. If he stays below here, he won't
He's
be on
not.
camera.
Right.
He's good.
Just be very careful, okay?
Really rolling? Like, is it
Yeah,
yeah.
it's live streamed. Yeah.
It's live. It's recording.
Yeah.
Jason's on the other side now. He's running it for us.
Yeah, sometimes when Raleigh's sitting back here, he kind of likes his space, so we don't want to get too much into his face.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, you just gotta be
I didn't know
really
there's so many
gentle.
people. I haven't
There's
looked
so
over there
many
in a while.
people. I look over every once in a while because it's exciting. It changes fast.
Yeah, it does.
Good boy, Raleigh.
Yeah,
That's some really good advice.
Are you having a fun day today?
that is.
Yeah? Hey, can I give you something to get to your mom?
Kind to your partner.
Yeah?
Kind to yourself. Yeah.
Approach it with
So-
patience,
Yeah.
supportiveness.
Can you give that to your
Get out in
mom?
the wilderness.
Perfect. Thanks, sweetheart.
Enjoy responsibly,
You're
both on and off the trail.
And know that they're always doing their best and meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
We're repeating your advice. I think it's really
Yeah?
good advice. I think it's really good
Thank
advice.
you.
Yeah.
I've gotten way too attached to the row we send emails. It's not good.
That's funny. Amy's also doing a fundraiser auction thing for a fellow teacher who fell ill to raise some money to help with their medical bills and stuff like that. So we get a
Oh.
lot of people coming and asking for donations and stuff, which is super cool. Yeah, it's kind of neat to be able to be a part of that. Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah, it's very neat. Yeah.
See, that just speaks more to that atmosphere that I was talking about earlier. Terrace is like just the like.
Yeah, the camaraderie and just
Yeah.
coming together to support. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I'm actually really excited for the George Little House too because it's such a bigger space. We can hold bigger events. Like
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had concerts here before. Like, yeah, super cool. So this can be completely removed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we just completely removed this. We had a band on this part here.
In the
And-
bike shop.
Yeah, in the bike shop. We moved all those as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, and the band set up here, and we had a whole bunch of people. Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, a lot of fun. We've had Christmas parties, like we've tons of private events. So the George Little House, I think, will give us a bigger venue to be able to do more stuff like that.
Welcome
I'm
back.
excited.
That's really cool.
Yeah, super fun, huh? Yeah.
Wow.
Coffee and whiskey.
Oh, coffee and whiskey hand cream. All right. Thanks, Amy.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Where were we? What's happening? What's going on?
The events that you host here, but also are planning for the
George
new
Little
venue.
House.
I think it's going to be fun. And apparently it's haunted, which should be exciting too.
That's
Oh.
so exciting.
I'm so excited about that.
We
You
should
know-
have a haunted bar.
Do you know the name of the resident?
No. We'll have to sort this out.
They just say haunted.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
we get it on the 1st.
I think they had some sort of like ghost hunter documentary that was there,
Yeah.
but I had never seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
We'll have to
so,
figure it out.
We'll have to
Yeah.
have a screening.
I'm
Yeah.
totally going to have a sleepover and find the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the ghost, hang out with the ghost, whatever you do with the ghost.
Yeah, is it going to be
We-
a ghost hunting scenario or a ghost friending scenario?
Friending.
Yeah.
We
You
should
gotta-
be
you gotta
friends
work.
for
They
certain.
drink coffee back in like the
Absolutely.
1900s. They'd be like, yes.
Absolutely.
Maybe it'll bring
Cowboy
it back to life.
coffee everywhere.
Yeah. Love cowboy coffee.
Yeah, George Little House. It should be fun. We should be able to have live music and like murder mystery
I
parties.
wanted a murder mystery party. I love that. So excited.
One of the staff suggested senior speed dating. We should probably do senior speed dating.
Yes.
I don't know. There's so many.
There's so many
It's-
options.
It's
Yep.
new. You get to dream and do new things all over again.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
always wanted to have, I don't know, like crib competitions or
Yeah.
whatever.
Just anything.
Stuff here. There's just not enough room. It's not quite
Yeah.
enough. Anyway, so there we can dream bigger and do new things.
That's funny.
That's really exciting.
Reoccurring themes. We'll probably just have to come back and do an episode once you're set up. Coming back and do an episode on the
George
Little
Little
House.
Come chase some ghosts.
Check
Yeah.
back
And
see
then
what's
by then
going
too,
on.
so we might be expanding next door here as well. Like the adjoining place are moving out, and we've agreed to take over that lease. So we'll knock a hole in the wall somewhere at some point, and have the whole space next door as well.
So like bike coffee.
Maybe,
Yeah.
in a
Bike
nutshell.
coffee. I think that's how it would work.
coffee.
Yes.
It's like Duck Duck Goose, but
Bike-
bike coffee.
Like coffee
Yeah.
and some seating, like some more couches, some space to hang out over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another new thing, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing to hear how many different directions you're expanding.
Yeah.
And that like how positive it sounds, how much it sounds like it's gonna go really well.
We always said we'd try anything
Just
once.
keep going. Yeah.
But you're expanding twice.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. It's true.
You've still committed to doing it once and you did it again.
Yeah. That's right.
Say something.
Yeah.
That's great. I think from what we've heard from other points of view around the community is like having those venues open up and having a place to go and like we met someone that's a reoccurring seasonal local, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Met it right here.
Right in your coffee shop. Had a great conversation. Stayed way too long, and yeah,
We made
it
her
was.
an hour late for her job.
Ah, that's funny.
Serious?
It's only a
I
job.
love
It's
it.
all
She's
right.
the boss.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
good.
But yeah, she was going on about how she wasn't going on. She was commiserating.
Talking about how this place is you.
Yeah, in a good way, in a good light, and saying that that was such a great avenue for Terrace to go because it's just creating more of those spaces for people to come hang out and connect and build those bonds, or just come and read a book, or when the band's on, another venue, come listen to some music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Oh,
Mike fell over.
Mike.
It's all right.
Yeah. Ghosts.
Just welcoming
There
you
could
to
be
George
dog
Little.
ghosts here and cat ghosts.
I'm
There used to
sure
be a veterinarian's
there was a lot
office.
of dogs and cats that met their
Yeah.
fate and here.
Our dog did, Tilly.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tilly on the mural, right?
Yeah, we
yeah.
painted her on
Yeah.
the mural. Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first ghost on the show.
No.
No,
No?
no.
No.
We met some cool ghosts in Cranbrook.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's things opening and closing.
That's
George?
bonkers.
Yeah, I thought it was Fred. I think it was Fred.
Maybe it's Fred.
Fred at the Cranbrook Community Theater. Because
Yeah.
the building used to be a Masonic temple.
What?
We'll put
And
a
now
little
it's-
title
yeah,
and
we'll-
recorrect whoever is right.
That's very cool.
Emma. Emma was right.
Emma was right? Okay. Yeah.
Mike's usually right.
Mike's usually right.
That's not true.
I let Jason think he's right. Yeah. I'm like, yes,
I think we
true.
both do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're right. No, you're, yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
right. We have been talking here for a while. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about while we're here?
What?
You have more questions?
Yeah. Let's
It's
go
a
away.
hard one. Yeah, go.
No, I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
For I mean, well, we've talked about the George Little House a little bit, and also expanding bike, coffee.
Yeah.
Bike, coffee, bike. Yeah,
Yeah.
that works.
But anything else in the future, or distant future?
Retirement? Just kidding. We've been really
good place
like.
to aim for.
What's that?
It's a good place to
I
aim
think
for.
so.
Things in the
I think
future.
things in the future. I'm gonna be selfish here and say we need to do like a good trip together, like a good adventure. That's my future.
Yeah, we've definitely had an interesting 3 years or so.
Yeah, the last 3 years have been pretty bonkers, like with
We've
health
been-
stuff and like just like a lot. So,
So
and
I don't
then
know. For our business, we're just gonna keep going and just keep wherever it goes.
Yeah.
Just take what comes and make the best of it. And then we've been dreaming of a long bike trip somewhere in a faraway land, like hop on a touring bike and go ride across the country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
something.
Yeah, that's totally not at all cafe related, but it's super cool because Heather wasn't interested in bikes at all before.
Yeah,
And I've always been, there's always been bikes in my life, but
Yeah.
she's never been into biking. She even had a mountain bike that she never rode.
I started to ride it to work. There's like the
And
big
you hated
initiative riding to work
Hated it.
week
You're
or
like,
whatever.
riding a bike to work is stupid.
Hated it.
Yeah.
It was not my favorite. I'd be like, you gotta pick me up. I'm not biking home. It was not my favorite. I'm like, I don't know why people do this. This is stupid. But now,
Yeah,
I
it's-
love it.
It's changed. It's a new thing we do together and a thing we plan on doing and traveling, and
Yeah.
it's exciting.
I think, yeah.
What's, from your point of view, Heather, what's a great avenue for all those people out there that want to get their partner into biking? What works for
Bribery.
you?
is
Bribery.
one. No, I'm just kidding.
No, listen to her. Listen to her. Bribery. Heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right.
I think understanding the bike community is a big one. Like, because Jason was so involved with the bike community, it was really easy for me to see how supportive it was and how inclusive it was. Like, since being here at the bike shop, understanding like the Torca organization and how they support
Terrace
the
Off-Road Cycling Association.
Yes, and
Nailed
how they
it.
support the community and how like if I think it's our community, not my husband, that got me into it.
Yeah, fair
No
enough. Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
Although
That makes sense.
he did give me a really nice bike.
That
I've been
helps.
told twice.
That helps. A really nice bike, and I know a guy if you're looking.
I'm here. Wait, and so do you have a bike right now, or
I
are you
do.
still looking for the new one after being sold?
I do. My bike actually just came in last week, so I was able to. Some friends of ours, we drove up to Lava Lake, up towards the Nass Valley, and we biked to the hot springs.
You
So
can
it
bike
was-
them.
Sorry,
You can bike them.
to the hot springs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
That
along
makes
the
a
highway
lot
there.
more
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was lovely.
I was imagining you biking around small pools and trying to figure it out.
That would-
To the hot springs makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, just saying.
Bribery.
Bribery.
Have a good bike.
Yeah, have a good bike.
Info about your bike.
I think understanding
Wow.
your biking community too,
Yeah.
I think makes it, it's very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? It helps build, it's less intimidating. If you,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you just kind of know somebody within that community to kind of help guide you and support you. And
it is an extremely supportive community, much like anything else. But from the outside, I think it looks very
Complex.
intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
And then meeting Alexa and understanding a little bit more about the Torca community, and I was just like, this is beautiful. Like, it is like, because I think for women specifically, it can be even more intimidating. That's just had always been my perspective. But now that I'm more immersed into it, I'm like, this is for everybody, like all walks of life. So, and it's like, you find your niche. You find your group of people, you find the trails that suit you well, and you just slowly improve and you slowly build, and it's like, yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's some good advice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone appreciates that.
Well, you're welcome.
We will be following a lot of it. I have never liked biking.
No, hey? Yeah.
like-
And me neither. Yeah.
It makes my butt hurt, and it's so ineffective.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible at
Ineffective.
it.
It's
I'm
like the
bad.
most efficient
I know,
machine we've ever made.
It's kind of true, actually.
The most
haven't
effective
seen-
way to get around.
It's the me factor. It's not
Doesn't
the bike.
require gasoline, an internal combustion engine isn't required, and you can move quickly. Super efficient.
Or slowly. And
Or
safely.
slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steadily.
Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Oh,
I don't remember what it was.
knocked
Usually
it out of the
I
park.
just went off.
Absolutely.
But I will say, meeting people across BC that are so into it and seeing how great the community is, trying it and seeing how much fun it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another bike. Hello.
The bikes keep coming.
Finally remembered.
Hey Dan, you're on the internet. You can say hi to the internet.
This is the internet.
Hello, internet. Oh, I feel rude. You guys are you guys podcasting over here?
Somewhat, yeah.
Oh my god.
Your bike's pretty.
It's my first podcast. It's not even my phone.
Bring it
Oh.
over here.
I love it.
It is.
Yeah,
This
amazing.
is such a good atmosphere. Yeah.
And it's funny, Raleigh loves Daniel. I don't know why. Well, I know why. He's lovely, but for some, every time he's here, Raleigh gets so excited.
Oh my god,
You
yeah.
can see, yeah, the
Yeah.
tail.
Oh
the
yeah.
tail was,
Usually he's jumping on him, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
really adorable. He's like, "This is my friend. My friend is here." Happy boy. Yep.
extremely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 3 bikes in the last little while. 3 bikes. Is it always that busy?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Sometimes and it's 10 o'clock ish. Yeah.
That's really exciting. He's on top.
You're rolling. Come on,
Oh,
bud.
you giving
Come on.
kisses.
Back in your bed, dude.
But he's so
Come on.
I know.
All jazzed up now.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for the constant interruptions. I hope it's not incredibly distracting.
No,
No,
this
perfect.
adds a perfect element.
It's so funny. And the dog loves Dan. Dan is the dog's favorite person in all
Yeah.
the land. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, it just adds to it. Yeah.
Yeah, since we've been here, the bike shops, there weren't many bikes, and now it's all filling up with bikes. There's like 3-4 new bikes that arrived.
Yeah, you can't see it, but there's 9 bikes in front of us.
It's kind of funny.
It's great though. We want to just like drop into your world for a morning and
Yeah. Oh, and the community's been so supportive. When we first opened, I think we were open for a day, and people started wheeling in bikes to get repaired. And yeah, it was very cool.
There's a couple different bike repair shops in town, right?
There's us here, there's Wild Bike, and then there's Red Cycles. So there's 3 shops in town.
Wow. Honestly speaks to the size of the biking community, that a community of this size can hold up 3 bike repair shops.
Yeah, I can't believe how many bikes there are.
Yeah.
Like,
Seems to be
I just did
everyone
the.
has 6.
Yeah.
I'm at like almost 800 repaired invoiced repairs in a year. That's a lot of bikes
Open 5 days a week for
In a-
16 months, yeah.
in a town of 10,000 people. That's a large percentage of humans on bikes.
Yeah, you've almost got a tenth of the bikes fixed.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of bikes. I am starting to feel that we should it out of your way, let you to get back to your work day.
There's a pile of work. Not
Yeah.
work, I'm sure. But
Oh, I'd still work, yeah.
Also, just there's now another 10 people in the lineup.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Staff have got it. They're nailing it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you two want to talk about?
Any wisdom?
The only wisdom, I think the nicest thing about this whole cafe and people that wanted to start a thing, they saw, the whole community of Terrace saw us from the start to where we got to. And everyone knew that we didn't really know what we were doing, if that makes sense. And it's been inspirational to a lot of people. Yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is if you want to do a thing, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, don't wait till a perfect time to do it. There's never a good time
No.
to travel, to have a baby, to start a business,
To
to
get
do
a
any of those
dog
things.
or 3. Yeah.
Do you have 3
Like,
dogs?
No, but I would like to.
Life is short. You just have to do it. It'll probably work.
Yeah. That's the thing. Just jump in with both feet. Just do it.
Run that group home in the high Arctic.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Run that race. Absolutely. Get on that bike. Yeah.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the worst you can do is fail. That's really, you know.
Yeah.
Just a lesson.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's just a lesson. You learn
Yeah.
from that. Like, you don't learn anything about yourself or the world if you don't fail. Like, I don't know. Challenges are good. It helps
Yeah.
shape you,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Do hard things.
Totally. Yeah, cry a little. Or a lot. I'm sure there have been many tears throughout our 14 months, 16 months. I don't know. And that's okay. Totally okay. Yeah.
Ah, that's one thing.
Because I'm with you throughout it all.
Oh, shucks.
It's a lot of excitement on your end, a little much for TV.
A bit much. A bit much for TV.
Yeah.
Trying to
On your
hold
side,
it
she was
in.
fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Well, thank you two for having such a cool shop, inviting us into it, getting us coffee, having such an awesome conversation.
Thanks for asking us
Nice
to
to
do
have you
this.
guys.
Yeah.
All our pleasure. So
I've
much
never
fun.
done it before, so something different and new.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I hope it was painless and enjoyable.
For sure.
We hope for enjoyable, but a bare minimum is like not too bad to be on camera.
Well, I didn't have to work, so
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
it didn't feel like work, which is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
See you, Matt.
All right,
Alright.
folks.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Enjoy
Hello.
that
Should we
cross
get
country.
Raleigh on camera?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Steve
Bro, you
Kerr.
want to come say hi to the people? I don't think you can jump. Come
It's
here.
a PR.
He's like, but I'm not allowed to jump. Hey, come here.
Sits down.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah. He's not going to jump. He's like, I'm not allowed to.
You're a good boy. Hey?
All right. Ciao, folks.
Let me give you a song, let me give you a song, let me sing you a song, let me sing you a song. From dusk and dawn to the early morn, till the balance gone, till the balance gone. Hitting on the road.
Hey folks, welcome to Dusty Tracks. I'm Mike and I'm sitting here with Rick.
Rick the carver.
Yeah.
And doing carvings.
Yeah.
Just started on this one. I
Well,
got quite a ways on it already so far. I'm into it by 15 minutes now.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long, hey?
Doesn't take long.
That's quite wild. Yeah. How long have you been carving for?
25 years.
Yeah?
No. 28 years now.
28?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there, do you call it something different when it's on a tree versus in your lap?
Wood.
Wood, yeah. But the process though, like, is it?
Yeah, it is the bark of the tree. I mean, the bark of the tree has like its own kind of personality. If you carve something in like a log like this, they would have grain, and the grain only go to a certain direction.
Right.
And you can only carve it in one direction.
Right.
This stuff it comes in layers, so you can carve in multiple directions. You can carve sideways, up, down, backwards. So
that's quite wild. You're saying earlier it's similar to like stacked paper.
Yeah. Stacked paper is like it comes right off like that.
Yeah.
So.
Wild. Yeah, you haven't had that piece very long, and
yeah,
there was another one we were working on not too long ago as well, and
This is one thing I don't like about the summertime. It's so humid and hot in this store. It's hard to concentrate and get your work done.
Oh yeah, a little distracting. Does it also dry out the wood quite a bit, or the bark rather?
No, not that bad.
No. Is it better to work on like damper or drier pieces?
Oh, in between.
Yeah.
If it's too damp, it'll be like tough.
Oh yeah.
Like really hard to my tools to carve into it.
Yeah.
And when it's too dry, it just crumbles apart, and a lot of times like lose noses and stuff like that, and like small pieces like the windows would break easily when you're trying to carve it.
Oh yeah, those are those are quite small, hey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they have little LEDs in them too.
Oh no way, really?
Yeah. They have like I put little tea candles you get from a dollar store.
Yeah.
They fit right into the back.
Oh.
Has a little shelf in it. So you can see where I glued right there.
Yeah.
I probably came too close into the wall.
Oh, okay.
When I was carving it.
Wow.
And they're all like that, like
all the houses,
yeah,
all the house pieces are? Oh, okay. That's quite wild.
And then when I verify them too, I do is I'll use a two-tone.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives a kind of a ginger color to his face, and this guy's a leprechaun.
I can see it.
Yeah. And I painted teeth too.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. How do you get the teeth?
That color?
Yeah. Well, I was also standing across the shop, but
yeah,
paint makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah. And then chimneys are painted white too.
Mm-hmm.
I was using ash, just like when I burn them, it leaves the ash behind. I left the ash behind, but it just comes right off. But I just use like white paint.
Yeah, imagine it. Yeah, it'd come right off, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially out in the elements. Do you paint the ones that are on Fairy Island?
No, they're not painted.
No?
Oh, I do paint them.
Yeah.
But it was like when after I finish the carving, I take some ash from the campfire and paint that on it, and it turns the wood right back to its gray, its natural gray.
Oh, so it just blends right back in.
Yeah. So it still can be part of that scavenger hunt, even though it's a new carving.
Yeah.
To find them.
That's quite wild. Yeah, that's wild. Before we even got to Terrace, we had heard a lot about Fairy Island, that we should check it out for its trails. But there was also scavenger hunts like you.
Yeah, find the carvings.
Yeah.
They're really hard to find, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you have to be like a bit of a detective to find them.
Yeah, you definitely have to seek it out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially if you're saying you're rubbing ash back on it and it turns back into.
It turns gray.
Yeah. Turns it back to the natural color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even just less than a minute, and there's life just comes right into it, eh?
Yeah.
That's quite wild.
Yeah, this is the worst tool to use.
Which one? What is that called?
It's a parting tool.
A parting tool?
Yeah, but if you cut yourself with it, it's like
yeah,
it gives you a kind of a permanent wound.
Ooh.
This finger right here has been hit so many times. I don't have that much nerve in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Kind of feels like when you got a whole bunch of band-aids on your finger.
Yeah.
You can't really feel it. It's like almost numb.
There's a bunch of scar tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever wear a glove on your
on my hand?
On your non-tool hand?
Yeah, I had one of those mesh gloves.
Oh yeah.
And it just like got annoying. And then I had another one, a Kevlar one, and that one just gets hot. So.
Yeah, I imagine you also lose some dexterity.
Yeah.
If you're out there in the forest with a glove.
Yeah.
Versus inside. Yeah. So you're saying earlier it takes about 20 minutes.
Yep.
To complete one.
Yeah.
Is that time similar to on a tree as well?
Oh no, it takes me like 3 days or more to do one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess because you're moving it around quite a bit on your lap there. You're
gotta put it with dogs, and a lot of times I bring a ladder.
Oh, that high up, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've come across a few on Ferry Island, but definitely haven't seen them all yet. So yeah, I'll have to.
A lot of times the lower ones that they build at the trail.
Right.
But some of them I gone up with a 8-foot ladder. You know, it's like the tree's leaning like this, so you can get like really good.
So you work right into it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's wild. And how many do you have you counted all the ones that are on Ferry Island or
84?
84?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever come in here and gone?
Got 84.
I found all 84.
Well, I go to there with kids.
Yeah.
And middle school and elementary, and they told me that if it has just even one eye, it's a carving. So there's a lot of them that are missing and stuff. Like, you know, they're all damaged, but you can still see one eye and a nose, and so that one counts according to them. So they all took a vote.
That's quite wild. How many kids do you take there at a time? Is it per class or?
It's usually about like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be a wild field trip. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the gabbing.
Yeah.
Chatter.
Oh, but just being, just having that experience as a field trip must have been quite something. Is there? I definitely don't want you to give it away, but is there a particularly hard one, or a hard five to find?
There's a few of them that the trail has been like rerouted. So they're a little hard to find. Like a lot of people know where they are, and they'll find them and show people, but they can be like a little difficult.
Yeah, and you're saying you made the leather apron yourself, eh?
Yep.
That's quite wild. Yeah, it's really just for your knees, eh? So it doesn't get.
Yeah. The ends are just like baling wire. I wired through.
Yeah.
The leather, and then it's just taped it up so it doesn't come apart.
Oh yeah.
Some duct tape. And this is like a tie-down strap from the back of my truck.
Nice.
Well, you can see my dirt bike in the back. He's already got one of these. Came with four of them, so I just used one of them.
Oh yeah. What are the most crucial tools for completing a tree tattoo, as you called it once?
Well, this knife blade I use mostly.
Yeah.
A lot of. I use it a lot in making the houses too.
Get that finer detail cut into it.
Yeah, cut the windows out and stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
I kind of cheat when I do those. I use a drill
for the windows just to start it.
Yeah, and drill at the back. And I was just like make enough drill holes and then just like hollow it out.
Right. Because I'm guessing like this face is the bark on the back is untouched, and then like you're saying there's a candle in there.
Yeah.
Or a LED light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to hollow it out. That makes sense. And then you have a few different. What do you even call those?
Tools.
Tools. Yeah. But there must be a name for.
There's gouges and scrolls.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those. Mostly it's gouges and then parting tools.
Parting tools.
That's my favorite.
The V one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one I use a lot of because when I'm doing like houses, I can get right in deep into here. You can see right in there.
Oh, okay.
Between
what's like
and then here.
Yeah.
Let's see where.
Between like what would be the roof and the shingles for the.
Yeah. Wow, look at that! I still got some crap in there. Okay. I'm not very good at quality control.
Oh, I mean, if you're able to complete a piece in 20 minutes, and it comes out looking like this. You know,
Yeah.
it's quite consistent too.
Yeah.
Do you ever sand any of the ones? Like the one on the top right there. I don't know if we can pick it up in the frame, but it looks like it's been.
This one?
Yeah, it looks like it's been sanded a little bit. Hey.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's kind of got like an old roguey kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been with the band for a while.
Yeah.
I never lost his hair. I have a few friends like that. I was like, I'm so jealous.
Still a full head of hair.
Full hair.
Yeah.
Look at my one. There we go.
There we are. Have you named any of them?
I used to name them,
Yeah.
and then I give up because it's just like, you know, it's just an endless list of names you have to try and figure out all the time. Mine one's like the Forest and Laka.
Laka, what is that?
It's the name of a character from the television series Taxi.
Taxi. Yeah, and I was curious if you did any stencils or anything like that, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, you said you didn't. You rough it out, eh?
Yeah.
That's quite wild. Yeah.
You notice I'm left-handed?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Most artists are.
Yeah?
Like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
They're all left-handed.
Maybe that's my problem. I'm not left-handed.
Yeah. It's part of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
You're using.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm being guided by this eye.
Right. Yeah, that's quite fast, eh?
Yeah.
4 carves to define the eyes, and then a little bit of detail with the knife work there.
Yeah.
And it really just brings it out. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on in the store today. I showed up here 12:30 and we're closed. We're supposed to be open until 5.
It was closed at 12:30 today.
Yeah. Or,
Huh.
no, 4:30.
Huh.
4:30. Must have just closed and left early.
Oh yeah.
Got tired of the sales. Probably thought, oh, Sunny's going to be really boring around here.
Yeah, Red Raven Gallery. What was the drive to display your art here?
Oh, we used to be in the mall. That's where I joined.
Okay.
Back in 2001.
Okay.
2001? It was the year 9/11.
Ooh.
That was 2001, wasn't it?
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can remember where I was.
Yeah, here he is.
Pretty wild, yeah. Then it was in the mall, hey? Red Raven Gallery at that time?
It was in the mall.
Wow. What was the process like? Did you bring a few pieces in, or were you known?
Oh, I was already known by
Yeah.
them to do this stuff, and they wanted me to be there, so I joined the store.
How has that been? It must be.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be kind of nice to have your stuff up on display.
Yeah.
And I imagine this is just a fraction of what you've put out in the years, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, about 700 a year.
700 a year, yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite something.
If you go to the store and you have like Oh, the honey thing, and a tall thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that thing was just the little tags that I got on the carvings here in the back.
That's quite wild, yeah.
There's always like a pile by the till.
Right? Yeah, I mean, these are quite reasonably priced too, I think.
Yeah.
Or what, I don't know, what do you think they are?
Yeah, for what I put in them.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy.
Yeah, I'd imagine they make pretty decent gifts, hey?
Yeah. Especially at Christmas time, somebody wants something from Terrace.
Right.
Deal.
Right, yeah.
You see how much slower I'm getting? And by the time I get to the fifth one, then I'm like, it's just almost taking like 40 minutes, an hour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Slows right down, hey?
Yeah. I only like 5 a day. If it's anything more than that, it seems that it's just my wrist can't hold out anymore.
Mm. Do you have a favorite one to carve? A favorite face?
Yeah, pretty much the beard one that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
As many times as I think, oh, I'm just going to change this a little bit, and you realize only the ones that are selling are the ones that I'm making like these.
Really?
Yeah.
The beards are the hot ones, eh?
Yeah. Hot items. Oh. Take away the leakiness. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Have you tried any other type of wood? Or bark?
Not really.
No? Wow. Is that one shorter due to use? Like, have you just filed it that short, or does it come that way?
This one right here,
Yeah.
It's a Japanese engraving tool.
Oh, okay.
And they come with different kinds too.
Yeah.
You'll have like a scroll. That's a parting tool again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where's this one? Right here. I marked this one.
Oh, yeah.
As a gouge, but it's a really fine one.
Yeah.
And that's what I use if I have to make like this guy with the eyes on the side.
Yeah. Oh. Wow. Have you ever made any of your tools?
Made my own tools? I tried to.
How did that go?
Man, didn't go anywhere.
No?
I gave up after a while. But you practically have to make the edge of the blade because it kind of, you see how it's like an angle.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just to fit how I carve, right?
Oh, okay. Either longer on the left or longer on the right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. seems to work better.
Does it give it like more of a slipping edge?
Yeah,
To the,
so
to
you
the
can
cut?
so you can turn
Oh, okay.
turn the edge more easier because you're only using one hand.
How long did it take for you to get really good at sharpening them? Because I imagine that's quite a process, eh?
Well, it's like I mostly use a stone and a polishing compound.
Oh yeah.
So it gets a really shiny, like almost like a chrome.
Right.
It's like really like a silver, like shiny.
Yeah. But you're doing that with hand, like you're sharpening by hand, no?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I got a grinder.
Oh, okay.
A
Yeah.
big wheel.
Oh yeah.
Felt wheel.
When you said stone, I imagined
Oh, okay, yeah. I use
you
stone
have
on those.
a rectangle or something, but
Yeah.
yeah. Ah. That's quite
And,
wild.
and mostly, if you use like a gouge to sharpen the gouge, you just use some emery cloth, and
Oh,
you
okay.
can just make a patch in the leather, and just like put the emery cloth down on it, and just like just stroke it across. And then you
Oh.
have to do the back stroke. So what I could use is just a lighter or a different tool, and then wrap it around it like this, and
Yeah.
then go like this.
With the emery cloth, and
Yeah,
that
with the emery
would
cloth.
take down the burr.
Yeah, take down most of everything and make it pretty sharp, and then you go over with a buffing pad,
Yeah.
polishing pad.
Yeah. How often do you find you need to resharpen?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Like this stuff's just got nothing but dirt on it, eh?
Yeah, it's quite sandy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The bark.
Yeah. it's
I
quite
imagine
salty.
that would slow it down quite a bit.
Yeah. This stuff came from the river, so it's like been on a log jam.
Is that where you find the best?
Best material?
Yeah.
Not really. If I find a whole tree that's down, then that's glory. It's like getting your moose down. It's like, oh yeah, that made my year.
Yeah. How much would one tree supply you for?
That would probably fill my whole shop. That'd be a whole cord of wood.
Yeah.
I have like. I'll show you my camera.
Do you burn it as
Chop
well?
up.
Like, because you're just carving the
Yeah,
bark.
if
of it, yeah?
you know, it's in the spring or the fall.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a wood stove,
Oh yeah.
but if I'm going out in the woods, I just like fill my truck up with whatever I got.
Yeah.
Junk pile.
Well, material pile. You ever go out in the forest and carve a little bit, or down by the river?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a pig and table at Ferry Island.
Oh yeah. Do you take any inspiration from the outdoors?
Sometimes.
With the different, different styles. Oh yeah, that finishing tool really does it, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, this one should be sharpened more. Kind of dull.
Oh yeah. That's really quite nice. Yeah, it really. You can really see the layers in there, hey?
Yeah. There you go. Oh, wait a second.
So that's 3.
That's 3?
Isn't it?
Just 2.
Oh, I thought you had one more
No.
stashed away there.
Nope.
Oh,
I could have had 3 done by now.
too busy jacking.
Yeah.
Explaining tools. That's quite wild. Quite fast at it.
Yeah. My other pastime is finding mines.
Oh yeah?
That's right. Those ones are on Clay as a mountain. That one right there is on Copper Mountain.
Oh, okay.
There's close
the one
to,
on this wall here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
There's close to like 3,000 mines in this whole area.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
This is part of the Almanaka Gold Rush. When the riverboats came out to Skeena, that's what they supplied.
Mm-hmm.
As well as the miners and all the and take away all the riches and stuff and the gold.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize there were like mine shafts though. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, there's like
literally
hundreds. There's 4 books just on this area alone that follows from Kamano to the Hazelstones. That's as far as the riverboats would go.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just
That's
like
quite far inland. Eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And their community is goes back as far as 1955.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how many the settlers were living there.
Wow.
So the Almanaka Gold Rush was longer than it lasted longer and was way before the Klondike one.
Mm-hmm.
But the Klondike one got all the fame and glory.
Right. Yeah. All the publicity.
So all the minerals and stuff like that. This is like a lot of iron pyrite.
Oh wow. Have you picked all this up yourself?
Yeah. Well, that one rock right there that's holding the door open, that's a big chunk of iron pyrite too. I'll take it on my dirt bike and have my pack, and I have it on my back, and rocks like that I was carrying on my pack, and I'd loosen it right up and just have it sit on the seat.
Yeah.
So if you watch it when you go around the corner, and it's like, and it's just road rash after that.
Oh. Yeah, take some of the weight off your shoulders, hey, and just put it on the seat of the bike. What kind of bike do you ride?
A TTR.
Oh yeah.
125's in the back of my truck.
Oh, 125, yeah.
Feel how heavy that is.
That's quite. What is this one? This looks like.
That's silver.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's
it's
a
quite
hunk of
shiny,
silver.
eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the stuff right here, this is what's called peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah, that's copper.
Oh wow, that's quite wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very striking. Blue and.
And if you notice, like the what's it called again? Iron pyrite. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's called fool's gold, or leave it right there.
Right. Right. Leave it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that has copper and fused into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to give us that brass look.
Ah. That's quite wild.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about making some tools out of the silver you found?
Yeah.
Or I guess silver would be too soft, eh?
Yeah.
To carve with.
But you're banging around in the iron pyrite, and you see a flake of gold, and it looks just like a shiny ring, gold, and that's gold. But it'll be in the vein. This is like the vein.
Right.
Vein rock.
In the quartz vein?
Yeah, in the quartz vein.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if I have any in here. Kids dig through it, and I go like, see that right there? It's gold. Now I don't have anything left to show people.
I didn't realize you were also a rock hound as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some, like, I don't know what this one was. I found this in the Charlottes. But you can see, like, it has, like, little facets in it. And it has little bumps. And I grinded it down, and you can see that it has facets.
Is this the side you grinded down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took it to a geologist, and they had no idea what it is.
Huh. Maybe like what's it called? Not opal.
A garnet?
A garnet, yeah.
That's what I was thinking it was.
Yeah?
But I have garnets too. Like if you go to the Yukon, they have like just garnets, like huge things.
Mm-hmm. But same kind of color though, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But rubies can be in a green rock like this too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's the green? Is that also copper?
I don't know.
Or
I don't,
a different
I don't think so.
type of. It's a different type of green though.
It's a different kind of green.
Yeah. Wow. And is that the same?
It's the same rocks.
Yeah.
There's a whole beach full of it.
Same area too.
Yeah.
Hey? Yeah.
And these ones are geos. This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
And like this one.
That's quite wild.
But you get those from the Charlottes.
Do you have a saw?
No.
You should.
This one came up from the copper. That's a fossil.
Oh wow.
We have fossil beds up there.
Yeah. That's something else. There's two in there, no?
I'm not sure.
What's that? There looks like a line on.
Here?
No, just in front of it there. Just
Right
there.
here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got the holes and stuff like that. That's why we like tube worms.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like I don't know what they're called, but they're like they kind of look like a bullet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That's quite wild. Did you pack that one out in your pack in your bike?
No.
I imagine that's like.
Kind of drove there.
Yeah.
Not that crazy.
Rocks, yeah. I usually pick them up, look at them for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll carry it a little ways and then
leave it there.
I'll put it back down usually. But I'm always like, oh, I should pick some up because this one looks pretty cool, and then go a little further and.
Should have brought my books with me.
That's quite wild. So that can just pop up out of nowhere. That's such a contrast. I'll have to get some B-roll of these. And see what we're talking about. See what we're looking at. How about this one?
That's Chrysocolla.
Chrysocolla?
Yeah.
Is that the same? No, that's different, eh?
It comes from copper too. It comes from the mines from copper.
Yeah. Is that like the same?
It almost looks the same, eh?
Oh, not quite, hey? It's got a different hue to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. When this stuff's polished, it's like a marble kind of color to it. We have some a woman does rocks from up copper, and she might have some Chrysocolla here. I don't see any. Oh, it's right here. It's like Chrysocolla. Oh, this is copper. Yeah, I don't see any.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice when it's polished.
Do you have a tumbler at home?
Nope.
No?
I'm old school.
Yeah.
Let's go hunt them and bring them home.
Just an old pan. Is that an old pan?
Yeah.
Looks like it, hey. Yeah.
Yeah, that one came from a place called Doreen.
Oh, yeah.
There's this ghost town that's on railroad tracks going out towards Skeena West Bridge.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
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 You go across Skeena West Bridge, you just keep following up the road all the way down to the end, and there'll probably be a sign there that says Doreen. And you go down and has like a little building it's like a general store and a bunch of houses still left behind.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few ghost towns around, hey.
Yeah.
We were driving in and we came across what was it? The old Skeena crossing? No. Yeah. I think it was the old Skeena crossing.
Oh yeah.
And there was a massive complex, and all that was left was, the big cement pad, which was maybe.
Yeah, that's what's called a Carnegie.
Carnegie.
It was a sawmill there.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because there was old.
There's some outbuildings still left there. It's like workshops and stuff like that, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. Everything else is gone.
Yeah, it's quite wild. They just pushed everything over.
Yeah.
Or?
And they had the sawmill there, and they had the sawmill in Terrace, and that was the one that shut down. It's this big yard too on Keith Avenue.
Yeah.
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 And there was a big sawmill there, and then they had a pulp mill in Prince Rupert.
Mm.
So when all that shut down, it's like killed a lot of this area for money wise.
Right.
Because that was a major revenue.
Right. And then you get those ghost towns popping up, and
yeah,
all that's left is a general store and a old gold pan full of
gold pans,
full of all types of goodies. You ever think about taking rocks and putting them in the eyes? or incorporating rocks into your?
I've seen that. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend of mine. He was doing bark carvings, and he'd do that in a native mosaic, and he would use what's that called again? The abalone for the eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be something else.
Oh yeah, looked pretty cool.
That'd be quite nice. Yeah. Not yet.
What's that?
You're not going to do it just
No.
yet? Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So you got any more questions?
I think we can wrap it up.
Okay.
You want to show off some of your work? Some of your new pieces here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe just for B-roll, I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, kids, this is what happens when you stay in school. Actually, I dropped out.
That's quite something, though. Yeah. They really, really do come alive. Hey.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Yeah, a couple strokes. 4, 5.
So there's only 2 you that came up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just the 2 of us, and we're able to reach quite a few people, I think. So,
yeah.
But no, of course, not not everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we can just wrap up the show, and you want to wave goodbye to him. Thanks for watching, folks.
Yep. Bye.
See ya.